like Noah made the ark. Because of the man.
Man. That's right. Don't be alarmed.
Did he say electrolytes or electric lights?
I don't know what he said. He probably was ahead of his time. He probably said electrolytes. But he said the man made the boat for the water. Take Noah across. Hey, don't be alarmed. Yes, this is us. And it's not 11:30. It's not 11:45. It's not 12 o'clock. It is on time. I'm Louis Dix.
Jeff Arnold.
Tighten up your belts.
Yes.
Going to make him a quick. I made tuna last night. So actually, I made tuna, and I made tuna for the house, and then I made Code 3 some chicken salad. This is my first time making chicken salad.
Now, how did you make that? Did you boil the chicken?
No.
Or you bought the chicken?
Yeah, the can.
Oh, come on, man.
I knew I shouldn't have told you that. No, I went and caught a chicken in the Mexican yard.
And then you did it that way?
Yeah, okay. And I cut the head off.
Had a ritual, a sacrifice?
Snapped it off, yeah, and then danced around it. And
but it was...
It came up. She liked it. I'm not a chicken salad. I am a chicken salad guy, but it has to be made a certain way, and not the way I made it.
The old-fashioned way.
With chunks of chicken.
Yes.
Yeah. This was stringy.
Yeah. It's chicken fillers, so you can get the whole chicken. You got processed chicken.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't. I'm a good tuna. I make great tuna.
Now, the eggs.
Yeah, eggs. Boil the eggs.
Now, was it the white part or the yolk?
No, the whole thing. I mean, this is how I make my tuna too. Eggs. Tuna is eggs, mustard,
the whole egg.
Yeah, I cut it up. I cut the egg up. Relish, onions.
Take out the yolk.
No, I don't take out the yolk. And then the only thing I did different with the chicken salad was I added celery.
No celery for the tuna?
I used to put celery in tuna. Now I don't. I just, I don't know. I just...
A lot of mayonnaise, huh?
A lot of mayo. A little shot of mustard, and because mayonnaise is on sale right now.
Wow.
So, and I know it's not supposed to be good for you.
5 for $1?
No, they got this whole thing going now. Buy 4 and then it's something.
You get 4 extra free.
Because I did that with the mixed peanuts.
Bulk buying. Yeah.
I bought some peanuts and it was 4 of them for $4 each.
Oh, okay.
Normally they like $7, $8.
Hey.
And I like that's healthy though. Peanuts.
Well, for some people are allergic to peanuts.
Oh, maybe that's why that kid next to me fell out when I said hello. Oh, peanut breath. It's hot out here in Los Angeles.
Gorgeous day.
It is beautiful. I was at 9:15. It was 80 degrees.
Yeah.
It is supposed to be in the mid 90s.
But then it's going to be fucked up because tonight it's going to drop down to 50.
It is?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's the bad thing about this weather out here. Because it gets you sick and all that. It's just a nice day.
Well, unless it helps you get sick more if you don't eat healthy, right?
And you don't dress properly. You got to know how to adjust to the weather.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. I bought some pajamas the other day.
Flannel?
Yes.
Or cotton?
Flannel. Fire break out. I want to be able to make it.
Oh, okay.
They got a little label that says fireproof.
With the little footies in?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. And it's this thing going around, rompers.
Yeah.
I really couldn't tell what it is. Are they? What I saw it was.
It's like a one piece.
One piece. Suit. Yeah. It's like how
that you wear outside, or it's like pajamas.
It could be almost like a leisure suit that's attached. It's like different styles.
Yeah. Yes. Your kids used to wear them. It's like a one piece that you put on.
Oh, for like pajamas.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And you used to fasten them up.
Gel suits.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's a big media thing. Everybody's talking about it.
Well, I mean, what the young...
It's making me upset because...
That's what the young black males wear.
All this shit is going on. I've never seen a black male wear that. I think this is just propaganda.
Well, I mean...
To bring the brother down?
Some say to emasculate.
The black male. Because now they're wearing the skinny jeans, they're super tight, they come up way above the ankle. Now they're wearing skirts.
Yeah, I was talking about that last night. I did a set, and
where at?
The Comedy Union. I did a set, and the audience was just...
How was it?
It's like 40-something people. They just were not... And it was interesting because in the beginning, the guy who says welcome and all that, he was telling them... Yeah, not the host, but, on the microphone before you start the show.
Oh, the DJ.
Come on, y'all. Come on, let's get it together. Make some noise. Come on, y'all. All right, that didn't work. Now, y'all know y'all... And I'm like, man, leave these people alone. It's Thursday.
Yeah.
Just be grateful that they hear. How are you going to make them applaud and get excited and have energy? Energy is organic. And he was forcing them, and it seemed like they just turned on all the comics. They just like, hey, I ain't giving you nothing.
Right.
You know, and so, and I was telling the younger comics, they were like, because I actually went on last. And normally,
headline.
Yeah, I guess so. I know I'm going. And I was just like, just be autobiographical. Just tell the truth. And I had an okay set. You know, I mean, it was, they listened, they laughed, they chuckled. You know, but it was interesting how we're so demanding as a public now that we want people to act the way we think they should act. There's nobody can be an individual now.
Well, it's accordance. You know, you at a comedy club, so you expected to laugh.
But yeah, but I'm okay with that. But they were demanding that they scream and go crazy and give all these comics energy and all that. Well, no. Okay, man, listen. I just paid my money. I got to buy 2 drinks. And they're expensive.
Right.
It's a Thursday, so I'm here.
I'm not getting paid tomorrow.
Yeah, let me just be here. It's you know, and it's,
I don't want to be here because I came with her.
They probably ran out of data at that time because waiting for the 21st. That got a good laugh because I was like, you all sitting there like y'all ran out of data.
Exactly.
You know, I was like, and you got 3 days before the 21st, so that got a laugh.
All right.
And it was true because I had ran out of data because
it's time to upgrade.
Well, they slowed me down. I have a thing where it prevents you from going over.
Right.
It slows your...
But that's also another marketing tool to get you to upgrade.
Well, I'm going to take the grade I have. That's another thing with America. We're just at a point right now.
And what people don't understand is that's the new addiction. People don't think it's an addiction.
Oh, the phone is. The phone is. It's way... And I'm saying this as an older person, and it's way out of control. The attention that these young people pay, and old people, to their phone walking across the street, it's just like...
Well, a survey was done that says statistically, you look at your phone over 2,600 times a day.
How can you... I see people walking their kids on their phone.
People are constantly on their phone to check to see if I got text message, to see if this person responded back to me, to see if I got an email.
And that, to me, that's just like a sign of straight up loneliness. And and it was interesting because today I was feeling some kind of way the past 4 days, and I was like,
your period ended.
No, I was like, what's going, and I was like, so I was working out, and once I got the endorphins, I felt okay, and then I cooked some stuff for Lou and for the house. I made some hamburgers, some hot wings, and I was just in the kitchen doing my thing. Yeah, so I was. That made me feel okay, and I cleaned up, and I was like, okay, yeah, you're really going through, Yeah,
your period has really got you.
It's like I'm trying to take my mind off of something, and I had an audition, I had a callback for something that I didn't think I did well in the first read, but I got a callback, and then I tricked that off, the callback. I just felt like I just wasn't focused. And
that's normally...
I was the only brother, and all the other older white dudes, and I'm like, okay, I really got to do something totally...
different,
but I stayed within myself, and I was like, and so I was
comfort zone.
I was beating myself up because I just felt like,
Was it for a commercial?
Yeah.
Okay.
Geico.
Oh.
So, and I had it as a spokesman, so I was like, God, just, the casting director is really nice because he likes me and he calls me, and so I was really happy. I was like, at least I made a connection with him.
Right.
So it was. It's just
keep you in mind for something else. Though.
Yeah, so it was just one of those jump out of this, and then we had practice yesterday, and that was okay. I was still a little funky, but I ran with the boys to try to.
What was the mood though? Have you figured out?
Okay, that's the thing. And then I was looking at people this morning because I dropped Lou off this morning, and I was watching people walk, and everybody had like what is going on? It's like I saw maybe out of the 25 people I saw, 2 looked like they had a bounce, and the other ones looked like they were just tired, and just like
it's one of those days just dragging.
Yeah, it's just like I'm not happy.
Well, it's just like I'm going through the same shit every day.
Right,
it's the same shit, different day.
Yeah, and
I got that walk on.
Right, and it's like I just want to, I want to go through another door. And then I was thinking about the young man. Well, he's not young. He's 52. The singer who committed suicide.
Oh, Cornell Soundgarden.
Yeah, and then I'm like, it made me start thinking, because Chris Rock wrote this really long thing on Facebook about how tough it is to be on the road, how you're doing it for different reasons,
Especially
taking care of your family, paying people, to be
when
your
you hit
friend.
a certain age, yes, it takes its toll.
Supposedly, his wife came out and said that she thinks it was accidental because he was on some type of anti-anxiety medicine, and she feels that drove him to hang himself.
The side effects?
Yeah.
I mean, every time I see medicine on TV.
And he actually called her before he was found and said that he thinks he took one or two too many. She said his speech was slurred and he sounded weird. So,
did she call the paramedic?
She called the security to go up and check on him. And I think by then it might have been too late. Yeah.
But that's just like, I'm getting ready to turn 55 in September. And it's like...
September what?
28th.
That's good.
And it's just like, I feel great every morning I wake up, despite whatever I'm going through. Whatever I'm going through. Because I look at, I ran into a person over the weekend. Same age we are. Mm-hmm. And so much medication he's on. Just to get up and deal with shit in the morning. He's got cholesterol pills he's taking. High blood pressure. Pills for his back. For his gout.
Right.
And I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, and I feel good because I don't have to take any pills.
And then people get upset with me because when my allergies bother me, they're like, well, I'm like, no, I don't put that shit in my body. And they're like, well, no, it'll stop you.
What do you do for it?
Nothing. Because, my mom, she's funny. She
it seemed like you could, sniff some lavender oil.
No, but
something healthy. Stick his head in the plant.
Do a vapor.
But it's like my response to my mom is, because she's like, you so silly, you're stupid. And I'm like, she's like, what are you taking for it? I'm like, well, I didn't take shit to get it.
I'm with you. I don't.
I
don't take anything unless I absolutely have to.
Yeah, and it's
like a pain pill or something.
Yeah, and I don't take any of that. And it's just like, and when I talked to my man, and he was with his wife, and I was just like, wow. And then she has her medication, and I'm just like, damn. And they're the same age we are.
Wow. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I feel the fact that a good shower helps me. A good shower. It's like
you wash all that off. Yeah,
I feel good, especially if the water is really strong. So a good shower helps me. Working out, helps me. Yeah. Working out. I listened to Richard Pryor yesterday.
Which one?
All of them. I just
on Pandora.
Yeah. No, I got it on my little iPod.
Okay, all right.
So I was driving, listening to him, and just
that motivates you. Yeah.
Yeah, just listening, and then I listen to some jazz. So just to clear my mind, and it's interesting. I can always tell when I'm feeling a certain way because I start hugging the pillow tighter, and it's just
I go through that. Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard. It's not. Life is not easy. I mean, we think about, especially when you, I guess, reach a certain age and you can actually have a clearer picture of life when you can sit back and say, "Whoa, this is." You're really aware of what's going on in this world and different people that you care about and people you don't even know. Like this morning, I'm leaving Code 3's going home. It's like 6 in the morning.
Right.
And I'm driving and, it's like 3 lanes. And this one old black guy was in the far right lane in the street. And he would not move. He just kept looking at everybody. And everybody had to stop and go around him.
Yeah.
And he kept, and then when it got my turn, I did what I always do. I put it in neutral and went, vroom, and he put his hands up and bring it. I was like, okay, he's
ready to die.
Yeah, I was just like, wow. He was in control. So whatever he's going through, that was his way of taking control.
Yeah, you're gonna go around me.
You're gonna go around me,
right.
And everybody's gonna go around me.
Yeah.
And I thought about calling 911, then I was like, nah, they tracked my phone, then they come to my crib.
Yeah, but look how many times they responded to the same person.
Right.
They like, oh, he's back out on the street.
They know he's out there.
Yeah.
And it was just interesting how everyone stopped
and went around
and thought he was going to move because everyone waited.
Yeah.
Then they realized he's not moving.
Right.
And they went around.
Yeah.
Do you think that sometimes, going back to what you said about when you're thinking about things and the whole depression thing, I know depression is really real, but for those that are not having medical depression, sometimes can it be the perspective you look at things in? Like, you could either be pessimistic or optimistic.
Oh no, there are a lot of people who see the glass half full, half empty. But I think it's where you are. One of the most important things, the one that drives it, is economics. Yeah. It's like where you are financially.
Yeah.
If you struggling where you don't know when your next bill can be paid, or you're gonna get kicked out and nowhere to live, something like that, that can cause anxiety, and that can make you feel. I feel totally different when I'm consistently working.
Well, I feel
because I know what just coming. I got to go to work.
What makes me feel good is that I'm caught up on everything.
Right.
I'm at that even pace. I'm not behind on anything.
Right.
Because sometimes I honestly feel, and it's a great line in one of J. Cole's records, is like sometimes I feel being broke is better for me. It's because I don't have to worry about it. It's like I'm at an even pace. I'm ahead. And my dad always jokes with me. He's like, if I got $42 in my pocket and I done paid everybody and I got $42 to spend on me, I'm good.
That's
Why
a great
42?
number. I think that's a great number. That's a great number.
No, because
I actually have $42 right now.
Yeah, no, because I feel that's my $42. That doesn't belong to anybody else.
You can do whatever you
want. I can do whatever I can want. I can go buy me a chicken sandwich. I can buy me a drink. I'm cool.
Yeah, 40, because 22 hurts you. 42 is pretty good.
Yeah, 42.
You can roll.
I'm good with
gas in the car.
Yeah,
gas, and that's what That's what makes me feel good. It's like all my bills are paid. I'm not in personal debt to anyone. I don't owe anyone any money because I rarely borrow. I got gas in my car, and I got like $42 in my pocket that I know I can spend on me.
Now, that's definitely a man's way of thinking, $42. Now, a woman, it'd be $142. A woman be like, I got $142. I'm okay.
Yeah.
But a man's like 40. You can get a decent meal, $42.
I'm cool.
And a man, that's balanced would go to the market and buy something so he can cook.
Oh, I tell my son all the time. I used to tell him all the time. Give me $15. Oh, I can make a meal.
Yeah.
Well, you would be good, and you can have leftovers.
Yeah.
For a couple of days.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll make a meal.
Oh, that's just a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
And I remember living loaf of bread and some bologna and then you and then something to drink and some chips and
man,
you like two for something.
When I was eating all that back then, hey man, get the thing the big roll of turkey ground beef, $5. Go get you a big thing of the spaghetti, then get you that, some tomato paste, and then you make up a nice spaghetti sauce. That's $10 right there.
Oh, yeah.
I got $5. Then I can give me some Entenmann's, the donuts.
Yeah. That was your dessert, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. You felt life was good.
Man,
life was good. If you could have, if you walked in a brother's house and he had them donuts, he was doing all right. You're like, all right, man, he's doing all right. And you'd ask for
99 cents.
Yeah, and then if he had 2 of them, oh man, come on. And then it was
sorted,
and that's the assorted ones. Is always ones you don't really like.
Yeah,
but some of the happiest people have renounced all of that materialism.
Yes.
Yeah, and some of the really happy people have all that too.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, you think about it both ways.
Again, it's just what your state of mind is.
And I think it also. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, whether you have money or not.
And I think it also depends on who's loving you.
Right.
And who because you really, once you get to that point of feeling sorry for yourself, the best way that I've learned to get out of it is to go help someone else, is to give back. And then you have more appreciation. It's like that's when I'm coaching or you're helping and you're making someone else smile.
Right.
It kind of, especially as a man.
What kind of self-talk do you?
Self-talk?
Yeah, because when I'm feeling some kind of way, I always say, be great. Just be great, whatever that is.
My thing is action. I have to get up first. I have to get up because one of the most important things is getting up.
Yeah.
You got to get up, shower, and walk out that door. If you stay indoors, stay in that bed, it's going to beat you up. You have to because you feel different once you walk outside.
And my thing is like every morning.
Yeah, because the sun rays is supposed to.
But I get up like at 4:30. By 5 o'clock, I'm out on my jog. And what makes me feel good is that I take appreciation because I see all the homeless people. And I run past Tent Row where I live at. And then I compare that. I'm like, you know what? You got no reason to be upset. You got no reason to feel the way you're feeling because you can be in that situation.
I thought about what you said last week.
You coming out of a house where you just showered at, where you just slept in a bed. So you gotta pull yourself up by the bootstrap because you can be in that situation.
Yeah.
Right now,
Things could always be worse.
You're not in that situation. And I know the man that you are, you're not going to allow yourself to go down there. Yeah, I go through my moments and my periods where I have that depression. Like, yeah, I go through all of that.
What pad did you wear?
Yeah, exactly. The Ultra.
You know what I had the other day? Crystal Light. It was good. Is that healthy?
You got to read the label. I don't know what's in the Crystal Light. So
I made it sugary. I put it was one little pack. I put 2 packs in a bottle of water and shook it up.
And you shook it up? Okay.
It was good. It was like having light Kool-Aid. Right. But
try the cucumber next time.
In the water?
Yes.
I eat the cucumbers with vinaigrette.
But just try putting it in the water.
All right, I'll try. I almost accomplished what you were talking about last week about giving someone some money and all that.
And then
I said no.
Why?
The guy came up and I was like,
too aggressive?
Jeff said, go ahead and do it. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I felt bad.
Even if it's $1?
I felt bad. I wanted
in your cup?
I actually lifted up my center console to go. Then I was like, nah, light changed. I couldn't do it. I couldn't, I am going to do it, though. I am going to get better at that.
I got my man today because he was walking down, coming down the street. He's like in between the cars.
Right. That's one of my goals. My goal is to do that more often, to give to people who, But it's hard to see which ones are sincere.
But you know what? It's like I just noticed all those people bypassing him and didn't give him anything. And then when I got to the light, he just like walked up and I just like reached in the little change I had. It wasn't nothing but pennies. I just said, here you go, homie. And I just put it in this cup. And he like, man, thank you. Thank you so much.
And when you rolled away, you'd be like, man, you just gave me pennies.
That's all right, though.
Yeah,
but he got
pennies
something.
Add up.
Pennies but he got something that no one else gave him, though. That everybody else drove past him and didn't give a damn about him.
Now, that's good. That's a good way to look at it. But back to what we were saying about how, and a lot, the guy who, hopefully, God bless his family. It's going to be tough. But it's
hard to deal with life.
Yeah, life is no. And I remember used to hear that stuff growing up. We used to hear our elders and the older people talk about life ain't no joke, and all. And they were usually having a drink or just sitting around and just
like smoking a cigarette.
Yeah,
boy, you don't know. You got it good.
You got it, and they always tell us that. Just enjoy your little life now, because once you become an adult,
you ain't got nothing to worry about. What you bitching about? You ain't paying damn near bill up in here.
Right. And that's when
ungrateful ass.
Yeah, and you kind of look at how lucky you were, and now that you're an adult and older, you realize how hard your parents worked.
Man, I understand.
They were feeding 2, 3, 4, 5 kids.
Now, I understand now the hustle my dad had growing up. I understand because I always talk to him. He said, "Now you understand." I said, "Man, I understand how you came in from one job, didn't sleep, went to another job, came home, took a little quick nap." Got up and did your
and dealt with what society. They didn't have iPhones or Facebook or none of that stuff. They had to deal with what was in their face
at that moment. Yes,
we have so many distractions.
Yeah,
that's why we're so fragile right now as men, because we have so many distractions. Because I was thinking about the other day, all the like the rompers and the skinny jeans and all the things that men are doing now that they never did. And just like it's really, you have to believe at one point it's taking a toll on us and softening us up.
It is.
And you really wonder what my son and your son generation, what kind of fathers and husbands they're going to be
when they get to when they decide that,
and what their kids are going to be paying attention to.
Right.
Because I see parents and the kids in the car and nobody's talking.
Everybody's on their phone.
One person's driving, they're driving, but the kids in the back and all that, they're all looking at the phones. There's no conversation.
Right. Or the other thing is that they got the DVD where you got the video where the kids can watch the movies.
Right. And it's like you wonder if these families actually know each other. There's no conversation.
Well, they know each other through text messaging. Did you get my email? I text you. Well,
and they consider that. When you hear them, they say, I'll ask Lewis, you talk to Peyton? Yeah, I talked to the other day. But then I'll ask Peyton, he said, no, he texts me.
Yeah.
So to them, texting is talking.
Right.
And it's not.
Like my son, through his dilemma, what he's going through now, he texts me an apology.
Right.
He texts me an apology.
That's
and saying that, in talking to you, I know you probably felt I disrespected you. Oh, I felt that?
Right.
Instead of you being disrespectful?
Right.
Homie, you got to reword, your words. You got to look at yourself. Mm-hmm. So he's going in a roundabout way. So, I mean, yeah.
So we to cap this off, if you're listening and things are tight and you're just feeling a certain way, and
it's gonna be okay.
It's so hard to describe. It's just
use what Ronaldo Ray used to say.
What?
Remember what he used to say? It's gonna be all right as soon as the swelling go down. As soon as the swelling go down, y'all.
And that's what makes it even more frustrating because you can't pinpoint what it is. I mean, if you got a broken arm, your arm's broke. If you got a twisted ankle, it's twisted. If you got a headache, you got a headache. But it's so deep in you, mentally.
Yeah, it's gonna be all right once the swelling go down.
You just say, man, what is it? And you're looking for answers. And now, and it's so hard. Like before, they say go to church, but the pastors are cheating and
they corrupt.
Yeah, and so it's like, who do you trust? Because once you become
standing in church and then the pimp walk up and slap your pastor.
Right, the priest, yeah. Then you even pimps going through stuff. They got issues.
Like, you owe my whole money.
Right. And then you think, because once you get older, you look at it and say, all right, I know that person that's trying to tell me something is going through it. It's like, how much do I receive from you when you're not handling your business?
But, and it also goes back to reflection of, our parents that were in our lives. We seen they struggle.
Right.
Because it was just revealed to me just talking to my mom and to my dad. I didn't know when they bought our house, the down payment was $1,000.
Wow.
And that was a lot of money to them. Mm-hmm. That they had to bust their ass off. Now, $1,000 to us is like we can hustle.
We'd all be homeowners.
Yeah, we can hustle up $1,000.
Right.
And it's like, and my pops was like, yo, man, I couldn't get $1 from nobody. I had to get out there and I had to hustle to make that easy payment. I said, well, how much was your notes? He like, man, 171.
Right, because you think like now would be like trying to get up 10,000.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I need 10,000 for a down payment.
Right.
But it was now not in California. Let's just
even when we went to visit Graceland, and you find the history of Elvis Presley, he honestly, as big as he was back then, he bitched and complained to the bank because they said, well, your down payment will have to be $1,000. And he felt at that time that was too much for who he was to put down as a down payment.
For Graceland?
Yes. And have you ever been to Graceland?
Yeah, I've been there one time.
And you look at that, and when I went there and I went inside, I was like, this house is no bigger than the house I grew up in. And that was considered a mansion back then.
Back there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was definitely bigger than the house I grew up in.
Yeah.
I was in a row house.
Oh, okay. There you go. See? No, I was in a house.
Yeah. You had
upstairs, downstairs.
Yeah. We had upstairs.
Basement and all of that.
Basement, yeah, but it was small. But it was okay because it was so much love in there.
Exactly.
323-293 for what? 3375. 323-293-3375. I'm Louis Dix.
Jeff Arnold.
What's the name of the show?
In a Man's World.
Shout out. I saw a photo of Aaron Gladman. He loves taking pictures of him and his queen going for walks.
Oh, okay, that's good.
He better stay happy because you wonder how much of this stuff is real on Facebook.
Hey, man.
And of course we're going to talk about your boy Trump is it's just.
Oh, there's so much to talk about. We got to talk about Christine Leahy.
And then Wiener.
Yeah, he pled not guilty.
Yeah,
he pled guilty.
Guilty to that. Yeah, he was crying.
Yeah.
He was crying.
Oh, sucker.
Yeah, come on. You going to show a picture of your John. You should not be crying.
To a 15-year-old.
To a 15-year-old.
That was the problem, that the girl was underage.
And then the picture that he showed, he had his son next to him.
Yes.
What is these people got issues?
And that's how this whole Hillary and the email thing started too, right? They found emails from his wife, who was Hillary's first aide.
And she was emailing him back and forth on his computer. So all of that was going back and forth. So some classified shit, because that she was dealing with. So, yeah, man.
We're going to get into that witch hunt that Trump.
And then Christine Leahy on Fox Sports 1.
Like, when?
Oh, yeah.
Came after LeVar Ball.
I can't get into that Ball. I don't like him.
I mean, you know what? But I respect him, though. I respect him.
You know what?
I'm a fan now.
He's a mad game. He's got. Listen. Also, what was? I hope everyone had a good Mother's Day. Father's Day is coming up, which will not get the same.
But you know what's interesting
energy.
about Mother's Day?
What?
Some guys got to meet the kids for the first time.
You mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Oh, I'm gonna introduce you to my little kids. You know, this is the day you're gonna have brunch with us. So,
you mean guys
that's dating the moms? Finally got to meet the kids for the first time.
Oh, so the guys that's dating the mom.
Yeah, it's like, okay, this is a special day, so you can meet my kids. Come join us for brunch.
And it was interesting because I was talking to one of our players, and I asked all the players what they did for their mom for Mother's Day and what they got them, and then one kid was saying a lot of them fixed mom breakfast, and two of them fixed their mom's eggs sunny side up. I thought that was funny. And one kid was talking about his dad came over, but he didn't come over. He was supposed to, and because he was with his girlfriend. And then we were talking. I said, is your mom dating? He's like, no, she's not dating until he's a sophomore until I'm out of school.
Wow.
And I like that because, I'd have a problem if somebody came through the house. And Dad's girlfriend seems cool. And then he was saying that he feels it's easier for the dad to have a girlfriend when the parents divorce as opposed to the mom having a boyfriend.
Why is that?
And I agree. Because the man is territorial. It's his. If he moves in, comes in the house, things are going to change, and the kids won't have the same freedom. A woman's more, if a woman moves in with the dad, she's, it's still the dad's house, and, you don't have to adjust as much.
Well, I mean, you still have the same thing because sometimes if it's a daughter that lives with the father, then the daughter's going to be like,
but she more or less
you're not my mom.
Yeah, but she has more of more roads to bond with that woman. It's not as territorial. It's territorial, mind you.
Well, it can be because
but it's
if the mom is...
not the male. It's totally because especially if the boy's coming of age. If he's like 13, 10, 11, 12, 13, then he's, we have a caller. Hey, caller.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Glad, man.
What's up, Glad, man? How you doing?
You heard his name. What's up, man?
Where were you guys walking to?
On the picture, we were on the beach. We were on the beach.
Oh, what did y'all do on the beach? Did y'all find clams or something? What y'all do?
No, we just
looking for a burial spot.
Now, who took that picture? Hilarious! I just got that.
That was a professional photographer that took that, and we had set it all up.
Are you trying to get your own reality show?
Oh, it was a photo shoot.
Yeah, we had paid for that.
Oh, okay.
But I did that because Sunday is our anniversary.
Oh, how long?
Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about 13 years.
You ran out of fingers. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You take your shoes off. Okay, so how long was the photo shoot?
It was just about 45 minutes. They took a bunch of different pictures.
Now, how much makeup did you have on? Now, did your wife do her hair and all that and makeup?
No, because she's a black woman, and all that humidity in that air would have messed everything up anyway. So she just said, "I'll put in a bun. Let's go do our thing."
See, that's good when you have a beautiful woman that can do that.
To throw on a cap and let's go.
Yeah. Seymour would have wore a gown.
Oh wow! Had a makeup artist.
Yeah,
all
Seymour would have wore a gown.
Had a fan blowing.
Shout out to Seymour. She would have been on her bike.
Yeah. Had the fan blowing.
What's your plans for the anniversary?
Well, I gotta. I'm gonna get one of my friends from church to make a dinner. My wife's in Chicago right now, so she'll be back by the time Sunday comes. But I'm gonna have one of my friends come over and cook, and
you act like Sunday far away.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do some stuff around the house that she been asking me to do, and I haven't been doing. I'm gonna have all that stuff done, and that's just gonna be what we're gonna do this year because we got this girl moving back in from school. So
congratulations!
Wow,
thank you, sir.
Congratulations! So she's coming back home. What was her degree in?
Neuroscience.
So is she gonna get a job there or something?
Yeah, she got a couple of people interested, and so she's gonna take the best one. so she's doing pretty good.
Now, how long are you going to give her?
Well, that's my daughter, man. So she got more than my sons would have, but she ain't got too much longer. I just want to make sure she's safe and she's at a place where I can get to, So, but
Now,
to answer your question, I guess I give her another year.
I agree with you, man. She can stay as long as she wants. That's your baby girl.
Yeah.
The boy. I mean, I'm a sucker parent, so my kids could, I'm
there you are. So
I'm not about
different,
get out and go live like I'm right.
No, I'm not about getting out, but I'm just like contribute.
Well, yeah.
Contribute, pay your way.
Right.
Well, yeah, Aaron gonna have her out there doing yard work or something like that when the boys, he puts his kids.
Actually, heard that. I tell her when she comes on the kitchen, it's yours. It belongs to you. She kind of both at it, but she always gets it done.
Okay. So,
but hey Lou.
Yeah.
And my site on my computer.
Hiding that.
You're what? Yeah, hold up. We didn't hear you. You broke up.
Oh, okay.
So you broke up. You got to stay in one spot.
Get better coverage.
Can you hear me now?
Hello?
He done.
All right. Call failed.
Yeah, he ain't hit no dial.
Hey, hit us back, Aaron. Go to your landline.
Okay, let's take a quick break.
Okay, you just heard from the Queen. We'll be back. It's in a man's world. Oh, yes. This was my educational album, boy.
I was stepping back in Chicago.
Marvin Gaye. This is what... I was young, boy, and this girl turned me on to this album. This was
what you
album,
hear up
man.
in
You sure love the ball, man. Man, this album. And you young... It's an educational album.
And nowadays they say you sure love to fuck,
Yeah.
They had more couth back then.
Yeah. Ball was... So, before we get into our news, our queen in charge went on I don't know if it was vacation, but she went on a trip. Who graduated?
My cousin.
So, congratulations.
Congrats.
You went to D.C. and Philly.
Yeah, in Maryland.
So what was that experience like? You now this side of your family's black?
My cousin's actually Mexican and Italian, and she's married to a Puerto Rican and Polish guy, and they live in the suburbs of Maryland. He works for has a highly classified job with the military.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And
you don't know Michael Flynn, do we?
I don't know.
It's funny.
It's secret. Anyway.
Did you have your own room when you stayed there?
No, I actually slept in the living room only because there was family from all over the country. They had a nice big house, but it was a lot of people.
You ranked the living room.
My mom came, Tasha.
Where'd your mom sleep?
She had her own room.
See.
And your brother? It's in the basement?
They had their own room, too.
Oh, him and his wife?
His girlfriend.
Oh,
okay.
Girlfriend.
Put you on the couch.
No, well, actually, the first night I got there,
love seat.
We were just partying so nicely. I actually passed out in the living room and woke up, and it was like dark, nobody around. I was like, "Wow, those Crown Royals."
They just left you.
But no.
Was it a TV in the room?
Yeah, she has a really nice house.
Were you able to go in the refrigerator at any time?
Yes, and what was lovely is that the whole time we were there, we never went out to a restaurant. Her husband cooked, oh my God, like the best dishes. Like he did fettuccine, he did a tortilla soup that was,
wow.
I mean, he just really got down. And I asked him, I said, where did you learn to cook? He said from traveling all over the world that they didn't have all the things that, he was accustomed to here at home. So he had to learn to
improvise,
cook. And, but anyway, me and my cousin was sitting out on the porch, and I seen a black neighbor. I was like, wow, you guys got black people in this neighborhood. She was like, this is a black neighborhood. I was like, so I was the whole time back east. It just seems like black folks out there really have their stuff together, I guess, versus, I don't want to say West Coast, but every time I go back there, I meet a lot of attorneys, a lot of just professional black folks that really have their stuff together.
Did their demeanor seem happy?
Yes, it was just so cool because she had a graduation party. She graduated from the University of Maryland, which it seemed like at least 60 to 70% were black graduates. And yeah, they were, and at her graduation party, she invited a lot of her neighbors, which were black.
And it's funny how we don't see that in the media. We just see what they want us to see.
Right.
And you saw a lot of black men, you said, had beards. In Philly.
Yeah, in Philly. We went to Philly. And I took my mom, and then Tasha, of course, just wanted to see the Eagle Stadium. That's the only reason why he wanted to go.
So what did your mom think of Philly?
She was like, this place is worn down.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's beat up.
But it's like the oldest city in the nation, right?
Yeah, one of them. Yeah, yeah. But it was. That was your first time in Philly?
No, I've been to Philly several times.
Now, did you? Because back east and Philly and DC, the language is so poetic. The rhythm. When I go back home, I have to jump back in the rhythm. It's like double.
But do you think that black people are more progressive back east than they are here?
I think coming from Chicago, I think the young
even
blacks,
in Chicago, it's
like we're more politically involved. We're more militant. We're more consciously aware of what's going on.
Yeah,
what's going on in the world.
I think it's you see more pockets of it back east. Where here it's the one thing about California, it is so spread out. It's just so much space. It's hard to, in back east, it's more pockets. They're close knit, so you kind of get, like you're in brick. It's brick. It's more brick.
Right.
Out here, it's more grass.
Yeah.
So you're gonna. I think you still get those, like especially in Oakland. Like up north in Oakland, you get a lot of strong conversations, but then it's happening on the grass. It's not happening, like outside on a stoop. And I think it's different kind of laughter back east. It's like earned laughter. Where here it's like when they laugh out here, it's
a tidal wave.
Yeah, they're anticipating when I make it.
Yeah.
Even for my own happiness. Back east, it's like. And you see a lot of married couples back east. A lot of people who've been married for a long time. From when and they all know each other. The family structure is still there, as opposed to here, because most people migrate out here. Back east, your family is around the corner, 10 minutes away. Yeah. Across the town.
Proximity of each other.
Yeah. So you see, you have more family stuff going on. Where out here, it's like my mom's flying in. Yeah. And you don't see. I haven't seen my cousin in years.
Well, even if the family's out here now, it's like well, I live here. I live in North Hollywood. Where your mom live? Oh, she lives way out in San Bernardino.
Right. Yeah. People won't go see family.
Yeah. It's like that's too far to drive out there.
I know.
You hear that?
In Philly, like there's different parts of Philly. There's West Philly,
South, North, East.
Yeah. So when I'm rolling through Philly, I can't tell what part I'm in.
No, you can't. It depends. Like if you're in South Philly, Southwest Philly, the row homes, and you have to go out in Upper Philly to even Yaden used to be nice. Now it's just they got patches of nice.
Do you still have a lot of folks there?
Oh yeah. I mean, even
Peanut, with your boys out there.
Yeah, Peanut, Fat Paul, Boogie, Fred. Fred has the nicest house out there. Fred he lives in a really nice neighborhood. Peanut's still in the hood.
That's Peanut calling now.
And Boogie and Boogie still lives on the same block. And Fat Paul that we grew up with.
You know what? That's interesting. It's like two people that I grew up with. That's my age. Still live on the block.
Yeah, and they still living in mom's house.
Yeah,
Fat Paul still lives in his mom died and left the house to him.
Yeah, that's the amazing thing. Is like two people that I grew up with. They still live on the block.
Hey, caller. Yo,
this is Jeremy from the DMV.
What up, Jeremy from the DMV? How's life, man?
What's up?
Life is great, man. I've listened to you guys talk about this Maryland, D.C. area. Being from the South, I'm from South Georgia.
Oh, okay.
I've lived in Atlanta and I've lived here, and you find that kind of black people around a lot of. I think it has a lot to do with education and income. And there's a lot of educated black people in this area. And a lot of it had to do with government and all the other industries that are in this area. Being from the South and seeing how it's more concentrated here, simply because you have D.C. and a lot of economies operate around that.
Right.
I haven't been much out. I've been out west to Seattle and Denver, but I haven't been to California yet.
What kind of work do you do?
Right now I work nonprofit kind of governmental stuff.
Okay.
But I've worked in corporate law firms before that.
And yeah, I think you're right, because down south you see a lot of now. You going to raise your kids? Or are you raising your kids there?
I'm not married yet. I just got a girlfriend, but I'm still debating that idea.
What are some of your options? What are you looking at?
I don't want to go back to Georgia. I thought about moving to Florida. I may go ahead and plant here and raise for a little while, and then move somewhere else. Maybe move back down south to Florida.
What part of Florida?
One thing down south. What part of Florida?
Yeah.
I don't know, somewhere close to the beach, because I love the beach, man.
Now, why won't you go back down south to Georgia? Why won't you go back to Georgia?
It's still a lot of areas, man, that are still almost in a time capsule, man, where, again, the progressive thinking and the progressive living.
Right.
Even when I have conversations with my parents, sometimes it just seems like their way of thinking is stuck in a time frame. Whereas as you come up here in more progressive areas like D.C. and even Atlanta, where you have much more variety of people living in one area, you have a greater sense of progressiveness and a greater outlook on life and just different viewpoints versus you just being stuck in one lane of thinking. I will say one thing about the South, though. You have, I think, a little bit more wealth.
You got a lot of old money down there, yep.
Yeah, you got a lot of old money. You got a lot of people who own land. And you got a lot of people who own, businesses that have been in families for generations.
Yep.
So that's kind of the offset. Because up here, you do have a lot of wealthy black people. Excuse me, you have a lot of rich, but I wouldn't necessarily say they're wealthy. Because a lot of their money is just made out of the income versus where you can own property and land in the South. You don't see that up here. You don't see a lot of people owning, 50 some odd acres or owning, 25 plus acres.
Hey, DMV, let me ask
trees.
you a quick question. Sorry to cut you off. Your conversations to your mom and dad, how are they different when you talk to your mom, being an older male, more mature now? How are your conversations different with your mom and dad?
They're different in the sense that, I grew up in the Southern Baptist Church, and a lot of how I thought growing up was shaped around that. And a lot of their thinking is still kind of shaped around that. I mean, my dad has always said church ain't nothing but a business, but, he understands the separation of religion and real life. But even when I have conversations with my mom, sometimes it just kind of gets thick sometimes because she always wants to go back to the Bible and all this and that. And I'm just like, yeah, I understand all that, Mama. We live in. Not to say that those thoughts and those processes aren't relevant today, but we've got to learn to evolve. And I don't see a lot of evolving going on in I guess my parents' generation as far as
it's hard.
I want to ask you, this question is going to sound weird. Who do you think your conversations are more honest with, your mom or your dad?
My mom.
Why so?
Well, you know what? I might put them. Well, yeah, probably my mom, because she'll speak more about different things and have a more objective view. My dad can be kind of pessimistic sometimes in the way he views things. And that may come from his upbringing and, his lifestyle coming up. But she's a little more optimistic and a little more open, I think. Whereas my dad is kind of structured and rigid, in the way that he thinks.
Now, how long have your parents, obviously your parents still together, right?
Yeah, they're still together.
How long have they been married?
I'm 34, so they've been married before I was born. So I guess 35 plus years.
Yeah, let them tell you. No,
yeah, you're right. Let them tell me.
No, I do want to ask you a quick question because I've always wondered, in my father's being in my life, is certain things as a male when you get older that you don't say to your father that you wish you could. You say in your head.
Oh, of course.
Just about just.
Well, I mean, I wish that applied with my son. Shit.
Now, and I wonder why why? What makes us hesitate to be more honest and truthful with them about how we're feeling?
I don't think it's that we want to be more honest and truthful. I think it's just a respect
thing, yeah.
And I noticed this, and you brought up John Lemon about Lee and how she was going at LeVar Ball and how saying his son is emasculated and he doesn't speak much. I have a father like LeVar Ball, not as much as braggadocious and loud, but when my father says something, then that's what he means. You know, sometimes there is no questioning going on when it comes to him growing up. And that doesn't always mean that it's right, but that's just kind of how I was raised, because that's how he was raised.
Right.
So I think it's much more of a respect that you don't always want to have to correct him. But I know sometimes that everything that he says isn't true. I mean, it isn't, something that's always right. But I let him think that because, that's just my dad.
Right.
Yeah, that's amazing. That I think it's with all men when it comes to their father. It's like you want to just let him have that one. I'm not going to go into that. I really could tell you more of the truth about yourself.
Yeah, it's going, even over the years, the conversations I've had with my dad, it's like, really, you going to stick with that?
Right, and you just don't truly say anything.
You go, okay, all right. And he's like, what you mean? What you got opinion on it? You really don't want to hear my opinion, but I'm going to let you have that one.
Right, my dad will say things, and I'm like, no, that wasn't true. Yeah. That's not how it went down.
Yeah.
And both my parents do that from time to time, but I'll correct my mom because we just had that kind of relationship where we can go back and forth. But
that's interesting because I'm like that with my mom too.
You can correct him.
Yeah, me and my mom, and my mom won't take offense to it. My mom like, okay, I guess you checked my ass, didn't you? And I'm like, well, no, I'm not like that. And she's like, well, no, go ahead. Pat yourself on the back. And I'm like, all right, I'll give myself that one.
Do you think we have a...
But with my dad, it's like, he gets really defensive. And my father, he likes to let you know, even as me and my brother, and that's the issue that my older and my younger brother have with my dad to this day. Because my younger brother really goes at it with my dad. Because my dad calls me, he like, I'm going to kill that motherfucker. And I'm like, what's the problem now? He like, that motherfucker telling me this and shit. Then I talk to my brother, and he like, man, Pops can't be talking that bullshit. Man, I ain't no motherfucking kid no more. And I'm like, but that's Pop. He like, man, I ain't no man. Fuck that. Pops just can't. My Pops always, I'm the patriarch. I'm the father. I run shit. And I'm like, all right, man, we grown men. And he's a firm believer in that.
That's good. Now, D, you and your girl been together over 2 years, right? I remember talking about this before.
Yeah, about 2 years. No, about 2 years.
And none of you have children.
Not no kids. No.
Okay, that's
that y'all disclosing.
And
I love kids, man.
Earlier we were talking about happiness and a mindset. Where's your head at? How are you?
Between her legs?
No, I mean,
That will be later on tonight.
Oh, there you go.
No, hey, I think happiness is a mind state, Lou. I really do. And living in this area and seeing people who would strive for all this career and money and these materialistic things, I've always been of the mindset that you have to be happy inside before you're happy on the outside. I don't care where you work at. I don't care how much money you're making. I don't care how many materialistic things you acquire. If you're not happy, if you don't look in the mirror and say, I'm happy, then it means nothing. So I'm happy, man. I got
so at 34,
I got food on my table. I got a girl that really care about me. My family is good.
Now, do you go through low moments, and if you do, how do you get out of them? What helps you?
I just look back on where I come from, man. Sometimes we get too caught up in the moment and think that the world is about to end. But if you study your journey throughout life and where you've come from to where you've been, that to me reaffirms everything that I believe in as far as myself. So when I get a low moment, I just think back over some trials and tribulations that I've been through and be like, man, this ain't nothing compared to what I went through, 5-6 years ago, or the journey that I made from South Georgia all the way to here, just on a whim and stepping out on faith. A lot of that just kind of shores up that low moment that I may have or I may experience. I just look back and say, well, look what I've gone through and look what I've done, instead of me just moping and walking around crying about it. But that comes from my father as well. We didn't do a lot of whining and crying growing up. We had to learn how to just suck it up.
Well, it's always enjoy the process.
Well, good for you, man. Right. Listen, thank you for the call, man. And let us know when you decide to, have that child and get married. I know you're going to get married first, so. But let us know unless you pop in an accident. But, hey, much respect. Have a good, you're not a father, so I hope your dad has a good father
tonight.
Yeah.
Happy early Father's Day to you all, man.
And try to hang in there tonight. Don't bust it early.
Enjoy the buffet.
All
All
right,
right.
good weekend.
Later. Nice guy. That's funny. I'm Louis Dix.
Jeff Arnold.
Yes, go ahead. She's getting ready to play that. News time. John Lemon.
Breaking news.
Now, your eyebrows are not as put together as Don Lemon's.
Oh, well.
Don Lemon, boy, he's just a.
I've seen him have lipstick on TV before.
Yeah.
I was so mad.
He is a cutie.
I was so mad.
He's a cutie. That's what I call guys now that are yeah. I just say you're a cutie. It's because you can't
Probably
say.
see him in a romper.
It's a guy that at pavilions where I market around my house, and he looks dead on Don Lemon.
Like Don Lemon?
Yeah, and he gets upset at me because I call him Don Lemon, and he's a cutie too.
Oh,
And then he gets all smirky and it's like.
Motherfucker, don't call me Don Lemon.
It's
My name
like-
is so-and-so.
No, he smiles. He thinks Lewis is flirting with
No,
him.
he knows that. No. And it's funny because you can always tell. Not always. I'm going to say I don't know because I'm not in that world.
How you
Sometimes
telling
you just
yourself,
try
man?
to be, well, for women, when they say, you say hi or smile to a guy, they automatically think you want to sleep with him.
Right, but I
that's the thing, yeah.
think the cutie guys.
That is.
The guys who are cute.
Fucks me up. That does.
Gay guys have a thing where if you're not their type, you're not their type.
Yeah.
You don't.
They're persnickety.
Yeah, you don't get no. They let you know right away.
Yeah.
And
But you hit that on that
What?
always fucks me up though.
that what when you
speak to a woman,
yeah, she thinks you want.
automatically like I want to fuck you. Bitch, where you get that from? All I just said was hi, how you doing? How you interpret me wanting to fuck you in that? I got I'm married and I got kids and I'm
That's why-
all the reason why you guys speak to us
No.
in the
and
first place.
that's more the reason why I wear a ring.
No, I
'Cause
speak because I was brought up that way to speak to people. Is to speak to people. When you see someone, you say good morning, good afternoon,
No,
good
but
evening.
I was.
How you doing?
Hold on.
Because sometimes you're right. Sometimes I just say good morning and you try to say it quickly so they don't think you're trying to hit on them. Yeah.
But you know the ones I get them note
What?
with my headset on and my earphones.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm in the elevator, I like to fuck them up on that one. When they get in and they thinking they looking cute and all of that,
Right.
And I'm like, good morning, how you doing? And like, oh, I'm fine. I'm like, no, I wasn't talking to you. I'm on the phone.
Was that a call for us?
Yes, it is.
Hey, caller. That's hilarious.
It's Chris from Connecticut.
What's up, Chris from Connecticut? How you been?
Smooth voice coming in.
Go
ahead.
Doing good, man. Just in the words of TDP, Louis, you just gonna sleep with Don Lemon like that?
I knew somebody would get me that. I know somebody would.
Pay attention to the show.
Yeah,
Call back.
Yeah, somebody's going to have a memes with me sitting on his lap or something. How's the family, Chris?
Oh, you doing great? My son, he had a field day at his school today, so he's playing with the kids at school, and they had like a tug of war type of thing, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember the field days because I was just getting ready to ask you that a couple more months, flag football be coming up, huh?
Yeah.
Well, he's going to play lacrosse this summer.
Good.
Lacrosse.
And from what you told us about it, he's going to probably be a midfielder.
Probably, but education first.
Yeah, because he's got speed, and so he'll be good for you. You excited? Lacrosse is a great game.
Yeah, it is. I'm more excited about it's interesting because he actually had like a tough week on Monday. His teacher passed away.
Oh,
and
wow.
that was his first time experiencing like loss, and like it's funny because it's like we don't really realize that children and even sometimes adults, you think certain people are going to be around forever. They don't see how fragile life is.
Was this a male teacher or female?
It was a female teacher, but that's his first time experiencing loss. So it was.
Now she was older. Was she an older woman?
Younger?
She was older. She was like she wasn't even like old. She was in her like 50s, late 40s, but she passed away from cancer. Like, and no one knew she passed away in her sleep. So it was,
did the kids know she was sick?
No, she was fine. The same day she passed, the same night she passed, I saw her the same day at school.
Wow.
Well, now how did they tell the kids? Did they bring?
The principal called each student, obviously the parents, and told them at night. And they asked the parents if we wanted to tell the kids at night or if we wanted to wait for them to get to school for them to find out. And me and my wife made the decision to just tell him at night so he could just get out his system.
Now, how old is he again?
He's 6. Next month he'll be 7.
Well, no. So what was that conversation like? Now, had you guys experienced death before? Had you talked to him about?
You taught the kids about it, but they don't know it until it like actually happens. And like we told him, yeah, your teacher passed away, and he repeated the question back, and then he, stared at the wall for a little bit, and he was crying like the whole night. And I just explained to him that, life, how fragile it is. Somebody could be right here with you, and then they could be gone just like that. Because people don't really process that, especially children. They don't understand that somebody could be here and they could be gone like the same day.
Now, did they have an assembly at school to tell the whole school, or was just this classroom?
Yes, they did that. But the funny thing that kind of like threw me off, and me and the parents were talking about it today during the field day, is the school has a cancer initiative now where they want the school to donate like $10 towards the fund, and I just found that like just strange. Like she passed away from cancer, but this was on Monday, but today, Friday, have like a donation initiative towards a cancer foundation, and I'm always skeptical about those type of things.
Well, did any of her colleagues, the other teachers or the principal, know she was sick?
No one knew. No one knew.
Wow. Now,
that was the easy one. So no homework.
Hilarious.
That's the first thing I'd have told my son. Hey, man, you got no homework, man.
Our project still due.
That's fun. Now, did that classroom have a substitute teacher, or did someone that they know sit in?
Well, it was always 2 teachers because it's a room of 24 students. So now it's just that one teacher. And the one teacher she was working with, they like worked together for like 30 years. So it's hard on the teacher that's left.
Yeah, I bet that teacher's like, it's my classroom now. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm going to die now. All these motherfucking kids.
So now your kid can dispute a grade. Hey, listen, man, that wasn't my grade.
Yeah. She was going to give me an A, man. You give me a C.
Now, I guess it was a good teaching moment. One that wanted to ask you, I don't know if you've been listening to the show, but we were talking about how you get out of a funk, if you've ever been in a funk, which that's just of course everyone's been in a funk, but you as a husband and father, how do you, when you get lows, how do you work yourself out of it, or do you have a routine, or do you acknowledge it, or what?
He comes up with one-liners for John Lennon.
Yeah, maybe not so much depression, but that's why I want to say when you're feeling low, because when you just.
I always try to for me, I just watch like when I get to I guess you would call it depression. When I get low, I just I watch the stuff that I go back to the things I used to do as a child. So I'll watch old Tom and Jerry cartoons, or listen to jazz music that I grew up in the house. I go back to a childhood space, or I watch old episodes of Foxhole and Reach Around, and just things that made me laugh.
That's a shout out there, see.
And I just go to a happy place, but it's not really. I feel again, as black men, that's something for us every day. It's always something. So for me, I just go to that. And now what I started doing is I started collecting wines, white wine, and I drink wine and watch a movie or something, and that's it. I don't really
come in a drunk.
Yeah. Is your wife aware of it?
Yeah, she is. She's honestly, that's probably the only person that that I'm open with. I don't really. She's the only person that sees me. In Florida, I don't have family here or nothing like that, so it's not like I'm around anybody or anything.
But is it something that you guys acknowledge? Does she say, hey, Chris, you're feeling a certain way? Or does she say, let's have some wine? How is it acknowledged?
Chris, you drunk again?
I would never get John Lemon.
What's wrong with Daddy? No, he passed out.
I know John Lemon been shopping with Speedy for rompers.
I know he was waiting for that one. I love it when Chris comes because he be ready to shoot off.
Lou, I'm pretty sure you could relate to this. I feel like when you're really with somebody, when somebody really knows you and you've been around long enough, they know when something's wrong. Mm-hmm. And with my wife, it's funny. Verbally, she doesn't say nothing, but it's better communication. She knows when something's wrong, and
she'll lay on my lap or whatever, or ask me if I want to watch a movie or something. We don't really sit there and talk about stuff. It's more of an energy thing. Like a woman knows when something's wrong.
Yeah, that's a good point. Now, because you're a fireman, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, do you guys have some kind of psychological, someone you have to see, or?
Yes, they actually do. They have that in But the thing with that is when you go to it's the psych ward that they have there, when you speak to them, that goes on your record, and that can like hinder you from like a promotion, or it's just on record, and you don't want people looking at you like you crazy or something, or
like that motherfucker, that crazy.
But
especially if you,
if there's a fire and someone dies in it, is it mandatory for you guys to get help or seek?
It's not mandatory. It's usually they have something set up for that though, but it's not mandatory. Even if you're going to do something like personal at home, they have all that stuff, because we work 3 days on, 3 days off, and some people have like rotating 48-hour shifts, and that obviously if you're married, that creates problems in the home. So they even have people that will talk to you if you having marital problems. So it's they have that set up, but honestly, no one, you know how men are, like they're too macho.
They internalize it.
Yeah, exactly. So, and you know that's why a lot of besides pilots, like a lot of firefighters, even police officers, those are probably like the most closeted depressants. Like they even Code 3, I'm pretty sure she has her, like, I don't know, like people who work in like especially EMS and stuff, them type of people, they control depression like different than no other. It's just like that's the norm for them. But they know how to control it. That's if that makes sense.
They have a drink
now,
it makes it go away.
Now, Chris, when you does something happen to you mentally, so to speak, when you put on your uniform? Are you in a different mindset? Does that help you? Do you?
Yeah, he becomes a Chippendale dancer.
Yeah, he firing them off.
He firing. I got him. I'll figure something up. But for me, it's more of it's like that feeling you get before you play like a basketball game or competition. It's like a nervousness, like mixed with like excitement. But for me, it's more like excitement, and again, I get like. You don't know what you're going to, because we get calls where it's like, yeah, it's just a smoke alarm, and you get there and it's a backdraft fire in the next room. So it's you get nervous, but you don't even know what you're getting nervous for, because you don't know what to expect until you get there.
Now, have you ever came up with like, I know like horrific, auto accidents? Have they like really fucked you up?
Just one. We had this was because believe it or not, people really don't get fired. Like most things you get now is like brush fires and a house fire here and there. But like the craziest thing for me is like 2 years ago was this when I lived in New Jersey. It was a private airstrip. A guy, he owned a plane, and he was flying at night. You're not supposed to fly at night with a private plane. It's just airspace rules. But obviously he crashed the plane, and I get body parts and stuff like that. But the interesting part was there was another person in the plane with him, and the person was his mistress. So when his wife came to the scene, it was, and I just never seen and just when I was still in the academy, I wasn't even career firefighter yet, but I never saw, like, it was a crazy sight, if you could imagine, because the plane didn't even explode. It crashed, obviously, on impact, but there was no fire or nothing, so his body parts and everything was still there, and it's, I don't know if you've seen shit like that before.
But the wife, did the wife know it was a mistress on board?
No, well, she didn't even know her husband was cheating. That's what the crazy part was. When she got there, they thought the lady who died in the plane was his wife, but she showed up to the scene, and obviously the neighborhood knows his wife, and she was like, he was pretty much cheating with, I guess, he was cheating with some other woman that lived in the neighborhood too, but everybody thought his wife was the other person in the plane, but that was his mistress. So she found out he died and cheated at the same time, which was a crazy.
So she didn't know which part to go yell at.
Y'all fired today.
Now, is that really just? I mean, I guess it's hard to imagine seeing body parts in different places.
Yeah, but it's like the most of the places that's light stuff. It's like most people, like firefighters in New York, they probably get like the worst of it, and people who work in California that fight wildfires, they get like crazy stuff on a regular. Like here, we get it's very rare to get stuff like that.
No, hey, listen. Hope you have a great Father's Day. They have
Great
plans
weekend.
for you.
I don't even, when is Father's Day again?
June something.
June something, I forget. But this coming Thursday, I'm graduating my bachelor's degree, so I just throw that out there.
Oh, congratulations,
congrats,
man.
man.
From where?
From University of Connecticut.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Throw that in there.
No, you should. You should throw that in and highlight it. Good for you. Now, and that's so you're going to have that and Memorial Day kind of surrounded, huh?
Pretty much, because I'm leaving to Connecticut on Sunday to spend it with my family after my graduation.
Okay. Is your brother going to be there?
So it again?
Your brother going to be there?
Oh, that whole situation.
With his new girl?
I don't know.
It might be fucked up.
He got a new girl, though.
Oh, he got a new one?
But the old one might show up, though. Be like,
Now, how's the other one? I mean, how's his ex-wife doing?
She hating. You know how a woman get. They don't care about you until you move on. But he got a new woman. And the dick pic saga continues.
wow.
Wait a minute. So, wait. She's still with the guy that was sending the pictures?
Nah, he left and went back to his wife and whatnot. And
So now
you know,
she out on her own with 2 kids.
she got her own, just like you guys predicted.
Wow, good for him. I'm glad he found happiness, and she can just kick rocks. That's what she deserves.
Yeah,
Hopefully, she'll remain and be a decent mother.
Yeah, but quiet as kept, your brother still smashing.
Yes, man. But before I go, I just want some condolences to TDP, and hopefully they'll take him off the shift as a deep fry hamburger helper, and we'll see him next week.
All right, man. Much respect, Chris. Take care. Wow, congratulations, Chris. Nothing like getting that education, just being better for your family, man. What a nice guy. What a nice guy. And you could tell all these guys, him and Aaron, they have good women. And DMV, you know, you can always tell when a man has a good woman because she kind of helps him through these little low moments, as we say, and just, you know, it helps you just get back on track because that's the key to going through something.
Oh, so you need a woman to help you through all
No, it helps.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it could be whoever. It could be sometimes it's your children. Sometimes going home and knowing that you have to take care of your kids and get a job and it picks you back up. Again, it goes back to deciding that someone else is more important than yourself. Giving, you know, that thing called selflessness. And that's a key ingredient to have inside yourself to function in this world. Is not being so self-absorbed because after a while, you know, it becomes a lonely journey.
Well, I'm like Rodney Winfield, so
What?
I took a look in the mirror and fell in love with myself, and I ain't had a problem since.
Well, you definitely got to care and pick yourself up and know that you're important and know that Code 3 is always cracking. You's smart, you's important, you's something.
That's what she tells you?
That's a little comedy. She thinks she's funny. It's so funny.
Well, speaking of funny, Aaron Gladman has already made a meme. I know when I start to feel that way because I hold my pillow tighter.
Look at you.
Louis sticks.
Oh, that's so funny.
Your arms are white.
Yeah, exactly.
Feeling like, what is that?
Yeah,
Michael
okay.
Jackson.
Yeah,
disease.
All right,
Photoshop.
all right, Aaron.
Yeah.
All right, listen, we got to get to the news. Sorry about that, John Lemon.
In Tulsa, Oklahoma, Terrence Crutcher, who was viciously and brutally murdered by the police woman. She had a trial last week, and Thursday she was acquitted.
You didn't hear anything about the trial.
But it was
all
like it
that
wasn't
Trump
because
stuff.
all the Trump stuff overtook everything.
What was this?
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
What happened?
Terrence Crutcher, the black guy that was walking back to his truck when
yeah,
it broke
that's
down,
right, yeah.
and he put his hands on the window, and she feared for her life. Allegedly, that's what she said. And her husband, who's in a helicopter above that was filming it, he made like the racist remark, like, "Wow, that's a big black scary dude. He must be on something." And it came to find out through the defense attorney Benjamin Krupp that the windows, because they kept saying that the windows was down. He was reaching into the driver's side to pull out something, and when they enlarged the photos from the helicopter, the windows was actually up, and she just shot him like 6 times in the back.
And she
Saying
got
that
acquitted.
did it out of fear.
She feared for her life, so she was acquitted. She was found not guilty. So, and the thing that's so fucked up about that, because you have a new attorney general that's in charge, and so now they're not going forward with any federal civil rights being violated. So as far as he's concerned, it's over with. You know, so I mean, what's the use of prosecuting them or trying them when they know automatically that they're going to get off.
It's so scary out there, man.
So.
Yeah, and did you see the case where the cop tasered the guy who was totally
on the bridge?
In compliance?
Yeah.
No, he was in his neighborhood, and I guess somebody reported that he had a weapon, which was a BB gun. I'm going to pull up the video because it's disturbing. But anyway.
But then the Las Vegas police did the same thing to the guy that they responded to. He had car trouble on the bridge in Las Vegas. They tased him 7 times. Then they beat him. And then one cop put him in a chokehold. And he died.
Brother?
Yeah. So, I mean, they just
I guess he lost that bet.
Yeah. So, I mean, they just got the green light. The biggest thing that went on was what was funny is the Christine Leahy on Fox Sports, how she came at LeVar Ball.
We ain't gonna talk about that.
You don't want to talk about that?
Nah, I'm just done with LeVar Ball. I mean, he's getting enough.
What do you guys think of him? I think. Do you think he's doing too much, or is he? Do you think he's on the path of ruining his son's chances?
Go ahead. Let's do the story. Let's talk about it.
Because I don't know what to. I mean, it's one thing to go ahead and build your own brand. Okay, I understand that, but
the thing is, it's like I have those feelings about him being egotistical and and all of that, and it's just like, well, you know what? And then when this incident happened, it kind of like changed my mind, and I said, you know what? I'm kind of like with him.
All right, tell him what happened. So
it's like he was on. He appeared on Colin Cowherd's sports show in the morning. And the side reporter on this show, Christine Leahy, she came at him, but she clapped before that on a previous program when she had talked about interviewing his son, Lonzo. And out of a 10-minute interview, she took from it that the 3 boys are intimidated by the father. The father is forcing them to play basketball. They're scared of their dad. They don't have a mind of their own. They can't think for themselves. They can't say 5 words without offending their dad and all that. And when he appeared on Colin's show, she's his side. She's the side reporter on there. He kind of like didn't really have anything to say to her, and it got like kind of like really blown up and all that. And I agree with him. He wasn't disrespectful to her.
Well, he was disrespectful. He told her to stay in your lane. He wouldn't look at her. I mean, he was dissing her.
And I heard that he said something about not.
But the thing about it is that the problem that I have is that it's like you all of a sudden we defend her. It's like she can clap on his kids and his family, and she can voice her opinion. But when he came out, all he did was this: stay in your lane. I'm not here to talk to you. I'm talking to you.
But I've also heard that, and I got to read up more on this, that he's not concerned about marketing his shoes to women.
Right,
or
she
having
made that
women's
point.
shoes
She made
or
that point.
whatever.
He said, get your own. He said, get a women's company, which he has a right to do. His whole thing is that my son's shoe is for big ballers. That's why they $500. Shaq came out and said, what about the kids? He said, Shaq, you have your line. You have your line of shoes for the kids. That's your lane. This is our lane. We're marketing our shoes for people that we want to wear them, that can afford them because they're big ballers. Now, it's a hit and miss with the shoe. We all know that. Because if his son is a flop in the NBA, the shoe is not going to sell. But if his son comes in and does what he's supposed to do and put in work, then the shoe is going to take off. So, I mean, I'm all for him up there promoting your kids. Why not want the best for your kids? See, that's the problem we as black folks have, is that we always tend to pull each other down instead of uplift each other. He's not doing nothing. He's a black man in his kid's life. His kid went to UCLA. You didn't hear nothing negative about his son at UCLA. His son wasn't involved in no sexual assault or anything. They on the right path. He came out and said, I picked UCLA. This is where. How many parents can honestly sit there and have the blueprint for their kids and then their kids execute it? My son told me just 2 weeks ago when I talked to him, he came in, when he was on the phone with his rant and his tirade. It's like, motherfuck you and that blueprint that you have for me. Fuck you and your blueprint. That didn't mean shit to me. I got my own blueprint. And I asked him, well, how's your blueprint working out for you now? You know my son was talented in basketball.
Right.
My son should have been enjoying his first year in the league if he'd have followed that blueprint. But I mean, the whole thing is that we get up there and we want to bring this black man down who's involved in his kid's life. Watch the NBA draft this year in a couple of weeks after the finals. And then see how many black fathers are up there with their kids.
I love Jeff, but his son would have been overseas or in the D League. He wouldn't have been in the league yet.
No, he would have been in the league.
No, I'm just kidding.
He would have been in the league. But no, the thing about it is watch how many black fathers attend the NBA draft this year. When they do these specials on these kids, the first thing they sitting around with their mothers and their grandmothers, and then they say, where's your dad at? Well, I don't know who my dad is. And then they go in there, well, if you can see your dad or if you can relay a message to your dad, what would you say to your dad? I ain't got really nothing much to say to him because I don't know who he is. But see, when you have a black man that's in his kid's life, then you still want to point, it's like that divide and conquer mentality. And I'm a big fan of LeVar.
So you don't think he's Joe Jacksoning?
No. No, because you got a plan for your kids and you want your kids to be the best. And so why not have them go out there and do something that they love?
Well,
do you think that...
I can't argue with you. That was a good point. For
I mean, because they set up there, she sets up there, that's like me talking about your son. And I'm blasting your son. I don't know how you raised your son. All I did was just talk 10 minutes with your son, and then I got this from you. You mean you going to come in here, you going to be cool with me? And I said this about your son.
I'm going to reframe on. Look, I wish him and his family the best. I agree with you that it's great that he's in his kid's life and he's a good father and a good family. I mean, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is that it's like you know, Jason Whitlock, he put his 2 cents in it. It's like, come on, man, if you don't have kids, then don't come down there.
Jason's been here a couple times,
right?
Yeah.
But I think it's enough. I don't want to LeVar is all over every top station, so
yeah,
he's
you don't
not,
seem
he's
like
not
you're
coming.
feeling it.
No, and he's not. And I just think he's.
What do you think? I mean, come on, Louis.
I have no opinion on it. That's how much I don't think about it. I don't want to. I'm glad he's a good dad because that's important for a man to be in his life. But all the other stuff is, it's about him. So I'm going to leave that alone. But what else is in the news?
The other egomaniac.
I have
who?
Trump. You want to talk about him? Give him all the glory?
Oh, well, he's the president.
No,
and
fuck
LeVar's
him
not
too.
the president.
I refuse to address him.
And look at what he said early in the week.
What?
When you see a police officer, when he addressed all those law enforcement officers at Capitol Hill on the lawn, what he said.
What did he say?
When you walk out of here today, when you walk away from this, do me a favor. Walk up to a police officer or a law enforcement officer and say the 2 most wonderful words that you can say to them.
Well, I did that this morning.
Yeah. So. And his 2 words were thank you. I got 2 other words I can say.
I did say that to someone this morning, Code 3.
Oh, okay, thank you.
I said thank you. I hope to say it again tonight. So,
see, and all this. Since you want to talk about Trump now, you have a special prosecutor.
Yes.
Bob Mueller, and I mean,
he's been getting so much praise.
They say he's just great guy.
Yeah, but the thing about it though, when he starts pulling out the dirt and the shit starts pointing towards Trump still has the ability to fire him.
No, he does not.
He does.
He can ask the Justice Department to fire him. The Justice Department has to fire him.
No, Trump can fire him because that's the same thing.
That's
Nixon
still impeding on obstruction.
Right. Nixon did it with Archibald Cox. Nixon went and fired Archibald Cox, and then he's like, "I'm not. You can't fire me." Then he said, "Okay."
If he fires him, how's it going to look?
Exactly.
If you have nothing to hide, if you not what do they call it? Colluding, whatever they call it, with the Russians, then what are you worried about?
Well,
the whole witch hunt thing, really? You think you're getting it worse than President Obama got it?
And that's what he said. No politician in the history has been treated unfairly than me.
Somebody put a picture of Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
Yeah, but you spent 7.5 years on the Bertha, going after him for a birthday.
Well, we
He's
know
not
this
American.
guy's special. Him and his people are gonna, like somebody like Jeff Brown always says, white men's problems. But it's 323-293-3375 is the number. 323-293-3375. I'm Louis Dix.
Jeff Arnold.
Yeah, if you guys want to comment on any of the topics,
We got a
including
video.
LeVar Ball.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Video of the week is coming up, and it's I have not seen it. This is Jeff's video of the week, and I saw a video of a kid fighting an old man in the church, and then one of the church members just knocked the kid out.
Yeah.
For beating up on the old man, and then some comedian who was showing me the video said the spirit spoke to the guy and knocked him out. We're going to take a break. When we come back, let's get excited for this video of the week.
Well, let's before we do that,
you
you wanted to know what a romper was.
Yes, and also you said you were going to show us that video. Hilarious. Hilarious. That's pretty funny.
I gotta have a purse and shit. Oh, okay, that's
The man wallet.
In a man's. Okay, that's pretty funny. Who did that?
Of course, Aaron Gladman.
Okay, Aaron. You know what? You know what? I hope your wife gives you that for the anniversary. Gives you one.
Okay, so we
now.
have the video of the week, and do you want to set this up,
Yeah.
John Lemon?
Yeah. This is a woman that she insisted that the video go viral, and her son went to a camp down, I believe, in Houston. Went to a basketball camp, either Houston or Atlanta, but she got offended because her son called home and he expressed that he had saw his favorite basketball player who attended the camp, Kobe Bryant, and he was along with Scottie Pippen.
All right, well, let's see what she has to say about it.
Now, how do you insist a video to go viral? That's interesting.
Well, it might go viral because we're playing it.
Okay.
She already got about 7,000 views on it, so.
I just wanted to come and talk on live on Facebook Live. I hope this thing goes viral. My son and his teammates are in Atlanta at a basketball camp. Basketball tournament in Atlanta, exciting. The boys are excited. They're there and they're meeting their some of their favorite players of all times, So they go and they're meeting their favorite players, exciting. They're excited. They're like, oh my God. Like my son has this one favorite player that he loves all the time. He finally gets to meet this guy. You understand what I'm saying to you? So anyway, hey Derek. So listen. So he calls me up. I'm like, hey, babe, what's going on? You excited? You having fun? He's like, yeah, I'm about to play. Okay. He says, Mom, guess who's in my hotel? I said, who? He says, Kobe Bryant. What? Kobe Bryant is in your room, in your hotel? Kobe and Scottie Pippen. Scottie too? Scottie Pippen is in my hotel. He says, I said, did you meet him? He says, yeah. He says, but Mom, they won't let us talk to him or even touch him. He says, Scottie Pippen said, don't touch him and don't say nothing to him. Scottie Pippen, you hook-nosed, ugly, corny motherfucker. That's why your wife is cheating on you, bitch. And Kobe, I know your corny ass ain't trying to be funny. You married a motherfucking hooker, bitch. You're lucky. I liked you for a very...
No.
Could you do me a favor? Can you play that again? Just so I can understand how ignorant this woman was. And her eyebrows...
Who's in my hotel? I said, who? He says, Kobe Bryant. What? Kobe Bryant is in your room, in your hotel? Kobe and Scottie Pippen. Scottie too? Scottie Pippen is in my hotel. He says, I said, did you meet him? He says, yeah. He says, but Mom, they won't let us talk to him or even touch him. He says, Scottie Pippen said, don't touch him and don't say nothing to him. Scottie Pippen, you hook-nosed, ugly, corny motherfucker. That's why your wife is cheating on you, bitch.
Okay. First of all...
Oh, my God, when they sent me that, I fell out.
I just got to... First of all, it looks like her hair smells.
Oh, God.
It just does. It looks like her hair smells and looks like she didn't brush her teeth. So fake. it's so manufactured. And I would bet,
You don't think she was really upset that they dissed her son?
no,
Well,
because
you
she doesn't know the circumstances.
Yes, you going on a little kid.
You know, first of all, if you know your child, they're not gonna say, "Don't touch me." It's too many cell phones and too many people recording them for them to say, "Don't touch me," and "Don't say nothing to me." Well, otherwise they wouldn't have been in front of them. Because first it didn't make sense because she said that I met them. Well, if you met them, that means they said hello to you.
Right.
Otherwise, you didn't meet them. So that's how you got to take kids with a grain of salt.
And the other thing is that, like you said, she doesn't know the circumstances. The whole thing is that they could have been on their way to another engagement.
Right.
They could have been, the kids could have been impeding their progress to get to their transportation. It's like, so, hey, kids, they have to go right now. So they'll talk to you guys later on.
Okay, but let's say, do these celebrities have an obligation to be nice to people when they're out in public because they are public figures?
No, not all the time. Not all the time.
I'm sure that they were. Here's the thing. They've been doing this so long in their lives that they know how to wave, say hi. I mean, they know they know how to keep their mouth shut. So someone else was speaking. That's someone else that was saying, like you said, not right now. They got to go.
Yeah.
And because they had people around them.
Right.
Plus, they weren't there for the camp. They were at the hotel.
Yeah.
Now, and they have a right to privacy too. So again, these are little kids. Standing around. There's Scotty and there's Michael and all that. So before the little kids beeline them, I'm sure some adults went to them.
Exactly.
So it wasn't just the kids standing around saying blah, blah. It was probably a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And the spokespeople said, listen, we got to go. They're going to this function. And I'm 99% sure that they waved to them and said, how you guys doing?
He probably even put his arm around them and like, yo, let's just go.
Or gave them a high five.
Yeah, I will agree that the mother didn't have enough information to be her
thing was, I hope this goes
viral. That's what she gave herself away there.
Yeah.
Is that, and then she was acting so bad with her eyebrows going up and her stanky hair. It's just.
But you know what it does,
the cross? She had a cross in the background, and the cross
she looked
was
crazy.
crooked.
She looked crazy.
But you know what it was though? That wasn't her acting out of anger from her child experience with Kobe and Scotty. She ran into Kobe and Scotty, and they dissed her ass.
Yeah, because
She tried to speak to them.
I can go out on a limb and say there's no man in her life. She seems really angry at those two men. You hook nose, whatever, and her nose wasn't that.
Yeah.
And I'm a nose guy.
You know
I know noses. So her nose was not that point where she could call out somebody, and she looked raggedy herself.
And then what got me is the hypocrisy of her even saying that is because, okay, cool. Look how many times if you got dressed up and looked fairly attractive and went out and someone said hi to you and your rude, ignorant ass brushed them off.
Right.
Because you was in a hurry. When someone said, yo, excuse me, like you brought up earlier, like, how you doing? It's like, what the fuck you want with me? What you trying to talking to me for? Why you stopping me? I just said hi.
I just hope her son can play. Because if he's not a baller and he's raggedy.
But the basketball mentality side of me came out, was like, obviously her son ain't shit. Because
Kobe and Scotty would have spoke to him.
Yeah, when it's like, hey man, you got handles, you killing them in the league, you killing them in.
So he must have been, great. The top 50 players don't speak to scrubs.
Yeah,
so
it's like you obviously Kobe and them didn't see nothing when they was at the camp.
I don't think that at the camp the way she presented is that they were just at the hotel.
But like I said, the basketball mentality side came at me because they came over to the camp to participate where the kids saw them. So obviously her son.
No, she said they saw them in the hotel.
I know, but what I'm saying is her son didn't stand out enough for
right, because even a coach would have said, "Hey, he's one of our best players, Kobe.
Yeah,
take a picture with him."
Yeah,
no, he didn't get that.
Yeah,
but that's just. I mean, that's
that Facebook Live shit.
Right.
Andy Warhol said it best. Everyone is entitled to their 15 minutes of fame,
and that's where we are right now, to a point where everybody is looking for it. jumping around for it, hiding in the bushes for it, just wanting to.
Got you
15 minutes.
moment.
Yeah, and it's it's too much. I'm Louis Dix.
Jeff Arnold.
And what's the name of the show?
In a Man's World.
We failed to mention TDP is still working on that hit show that's coming out
May 25th.
May 25th. Shabazz.
Thursday night.
He's putting his work in and writing, and good for him. 323-293 for what? 3375.
And also want to acknowledge today is Malcolm
X's birthday.
Oh.
I was going to get to that. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
By any means necessary.
Wow.
That's where we at now.
Malcolm X. Man, could we use
You know how old he would have been today?
How old?
92.
Wow.
Born in 1925. He'd have been 92 today.
Malcolm. That was a great book. Great movie. All the great footage. You know, if you have some children sitting around and they got a phone, pull up some speeches from Malcolm on YouTube and let them listen to it, and get some knowledge. I mean, that's a man that went through it.
Yeah.
I mean, he went through it. And go ahead and sit down and watch the movie with them. I mean, you know, as opposed to the Galaxy 2 or whatever, watch something that can give them some education, especially the young black men, because we need more education with our young boys, so they can understand where they come from and what's important and what they're here to do for the world, and more so, not so much for the world, for their families, because I think that's something that's getting lost with men, is realizing our responsibility. We're so self-absorbed. We're just missing the whole point of being leaders within the family. And yeah, it's tough. It's not easy. It's tough. But that's why you're MAN. And stop being so hooked on the rompers and all that other stuff.
He had a great quote, and this quote was, "I'm for truth, no matter who tells it. I'm for justice, no matter who it is for or against. I'm a human being first and foremost. And as such, I am for whoever and whatever benefits humanity as a whole."
Wow, it's a good quote. That's a good quote. I am excited because little things excite me. Strawberries on sale.
Wow.
And I made some strawberries. I cut them up and put sugar over them, and I let them sit for a day and a half.
Strawberry shortcake.
That's what Lou asked for. So I got to go get it. It's a pound cake. You put strawberries on it and then a little whipped cream.
Well,
any updates on, your roommate?
He's interesting last night because I had to do the guest spot, and he had to come with me because he asked me to take him somewhere, but then I didn't have time. I said, "You got to come." And then I thought I was going to go up earlier, so he had to sit there. And he watched me, and he didn't say anything on the ride home. But this morning, he's like, "You had a couple good ones."
That was it?
Like
he knows comedy?
And
did that offend you?
No, because I did some stuff on his sister that I really didn't want him to hear. So I thought that bothered him. And I hesitated.
So did you say it the way it was meant to say?
Yeah, I said it.
Okay.
I said it.
Okay.
And I thought about it. It was on before it came out of my mouth, and I said, I got to do it. It's honest. It's comedy. It's what I'm doing. And then he was quiet, and I know he was thinking about it. But this morning, and that had me think. That's why I asked the question about, is there certain things you want to say to your father that you just won't? But he... and
that was one of the things. Can your son come and talk to you openly?
Yeah, I'm sure once he has his Hennessy, he does. But he... he can. But it's interesting because I notice whenever I can check his social media and all, and the kids highlight moms so much. Dads very seldom get highlighted.
Well,
it's like you have to be somewhat absent or a bad dad for them to. Then when you come back around, they love you and they.
Right.
I can't believe.
Goes back to LeVar Ball being in his kid's life from the beginning to the end and enjoying and going through the process. It's like that's why I bring up my father all the time. Like my father said, "What's the first thing you do if we on a football field and I throw you the game-winning touchdown? and you run to the stands and the camera's on you, what's the first thing you're going to say?
Right.
Hi, Mom.
Right.
Hey, Mom, this is for you. This is for you. And my dad used to always sit there, and he's like, that's kind of fucked up. And my mom used to look at him, and she'd be like, why? He said, because I'm the one that taught the motherfucker how to throw the football. How to catch it.
Yeah, because I saw something on my son's anniversary about his graduation, and he had, and he had a picture of him and his mom. He's like, and I'm like, dads don't get no love, man.
I pay for all this shit.
Dads don't. Well, no, mom paid for something too. But it's just you just take that with a grain of salt and realize that's moms, and they did do 10 times more than what we did. They carried him. They gave him life. I mean, maybe if we did that, then they would go ahead and give us more.
Yeah, but I mean,
But that's what moms are here for. I mean, moms, dads, I think get theirs on the back end.
Well, they don't get theirs at all.
No, I think they get them because it depends on what kind of man your son becomes. That's your when he starts becoming a father and the way he handles his family and the way he loves his kids. That's your thank you to the dad because he only learned that from you.
Well,
most of the time. He learned it from you all the time because even if you weren't around, he decided to be better than you. Well, and if you taught him certain things, and it's just, sometimes it's a thankless job, Your daughter's always going to give you a nice big hug. But for you fathers out there, just keep hanging in there, and you husbands and you boyfriends and partners. And
even if you treated with disrespect, you should hang in there by your child?
Yeah, you have to because you have to realize that it's a journey for them. They just don't know, that's the whole prodigal son thing. They just don't know. I mean, that's a great way to put it, what you just said. That is the essence of fatherhood, hanging in there. Because you just have to hang in there and realize that I'm doing the best I can. I'm here. I'm present, and you're just not acknowledging it. And that's okay. But that's what makes me a father. We always talk about what makes women such good mothers, and they can do this and handle this. Same thing applies to the father. What you're going through, and what I'm going through, and what other fathers are going through, we're hanging in there. And the key is, because that's the first thing you say. It's like, man, I don't know how he hung in there as a dad. I don't know how.
Well, I mean, you only, my thing is like 54. I know the disagreements I've had with my dad. Him stepping in. You can't tell me what to do, but I've always listened.
Right.
I've never, even if I had negative thoughts or I wanted to chastise or I wanted to clap back, I was like, I can't do that.
Right, but you have to think about our fathers couldn't say anything, couldn't even look crazy to their fathers.
Right.
So it's it's changes now where our sons, they feel they can say something and clap back, and that's why it's going to be interesting to see what their sons feel like they can say. Huh? Because you keep in mind, our dads told us, wait till you become a father.
Yeah.
All right. You think that you're going to learn. You're going to see what I'm going through. And it's true. Yeah. And we look at it like, man, this.
But I'm like, my thing is, I'm like, maybe I'm too hard or maybe I'm too old school. But it's like, like I was talking to my mom and she's like, I know you. She's like, ain't no coming back from that with you. And I'm like, yeah.
No, it will be. It will be because once he has a family and a kid and you're gonna soften up. You're gonna have a better understanding that it was his journey. He has to go down his road. He has to find himself. Yeah. He's not as wise as you. He's only 20.
Yeah, but
think about 20.
But to come and say the shit he said though.
Well, here's the thing.
That
came from the things that you taught him. Now keep this in mind. The things that you taught him. You gave him that freedom, so to speak, when you exposed him to certain things because you wanted to keep it real.
Right.
It goes back to what you were saying about the other guys, like, teach your son to keep it real.
Keep it real, right.
All right, so that's the kind of son you raised in that fact. You didn't raise somebody like my son who might not say anything.
Right.
You raised your son to be honest, keep it 100. You showed him the real world,
exactly,
and so that's right. What you didn't sugarcoat him.
That's right.
So, but that's okay because that's going to allow him to be able to keep it 100, to come to you face to face eventually and say, "Hey, man, what I said back then when I was 20, I was so wrong. I hope you can forgive me, and I'm going to be a better son.
Well,
and because you love him,
time will tell.
Yeah, because you love him. That's not going to. That's not going to change. So that's what you.
Did you get a chance to check out the comments on YouTube about your son, Jeff?
Yeah.
What did they say?
They pretty much applauded Jeff for handling it the way he did, but I don't know.
I mean, my thing is, like I told myself, you know what? You got to look at the mirror. You got to look at yourself in the mirror. You've always had that problem. And for you to sit there and say, I've never done nothing for you and I haven't been in your life, that's something you gotta deal with that.
Right, but that's the thing. Sometimes when young people or anybody says certain things that are not true, because that's not true. So that's kind of like dealing with a crazy person and saying, all right, you'll come to your senses. Because, I mean, think of some of the things we did not so much say, but we thought.
Exactly.
Our parents don't love us. You hate me. You won't give me this.
You knew that you knew the love was there.
Yeah, but so his thing is, and again, you gave him that freedom to say, F you, Dad, you ain't this and you ain't that.
I didn't give him that freedom. I gave him that voice to where, you know what?
You gave him that freedom because that was okay. Your thing was, it's all about being honest in life. I'm showing you the real deal.
Right.
I'm showing you going to hear this hip hop music at 11.
No, it was earlier than that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You would let him listen to stuff, and that's the stuff that he spun. Now, of course, the other stuff he's learning now, he has to learn and absorb about how to. Because the one thing he's going to look at you and say, eventually, the prodigal son, he's going to have to eventually. It's like our parents said, you're going to need me before I need you.
Right.
So he's going to have to eat all of that. Because eventually his mom's gonna be with somebody who's not gonna allow that. Because that's what I used to always say. Nobody's gonna love you the way I love you.
Well, that was the thing that I used to emphasize to him. I used to tell him all the time, when you walk out this front door, there's only two people that care about you. Everybody else don't give a fuck about you.
Right.
Your mama and me, we're the only two people that care about you, that love you enough.
And he has to.
But for him to come and say that, all that what you did for me don't mean shit. It was like, this is how you are. Fuck, motherfuck your blueprint. I got my own blueprint. I didn't want to follow your shit. You's a stupid motherfucker. You's a bum, broke ass nigga.
Right, but see, here it is again. You said to him, go ahead and be honest and tell me how you feel. I'm not letting my son say all that.
No, he said all that on the phone.
Right. At one point,
he was at a safe distance where he felt he could say that. Like I said, it's easy to talk shit on the phone. See, if you were a real man, you would say it to my face.
But he's not a real man.
Exactly.
Okay, and even a real man, if he was going to say that to your face, he'd have to be prepared to fight.
Exactly.
And he knows you're not a guy that's going to dialogue with him.
No.
You're going to put your hands on him.
Exactly.
And that's part of the reason that's his way of fighting you, by using those words. He's not going to beat you physically. So to get back at you, I'm going to say these are my swings to you. Because it's just like a woman. A woman can't physically beat you, but she going to cuss you out and call you you got a little John. You can't do this. You can't do that. That was a woman fighting you.
Well,
and you got to you have to be the father you are and the man you are by saying, I understand where he is right here, and I would have never said that. I'm glad you know I love you enough that you felt you can get away with that. You just got
what I thought at the moment.
You just got to get out of your feelings and understand.
No, it's that Richard Pryor moment.
No, it's kind of like,
please, God, let my fingers ease through this motherfucking phone.
No, but see, that's what I'm saying. You can't. At my mind, my thinking is, I would never want to think that I would want, no matter what my son would say to me, I would not want to physically hurt him, because I know he's growing, and that's my job, is to give him this, because the world's not going to give him this space to grow like that.
Well, then, but see, then some of it, then the kids think that, okay, if I say that to him, then, and then he don't do nothing in that, then it comes to Well, now I can take him now.
No. That's come on. That's thinking so street. No, it's not. If he said it because he's hurt, and that's what the only thing he could. His brain, his immature brain will allow him to think that's what he can say.
Right, I understand.
So
all that.
you have to. It's just you have to understand that's his educational level. He's not. Again, he's 20. You're 35 years older than him. Look at what you've learned in 35 years of what to say, when not to say. Even you had to, at your age, had to realize in the business world we're in, certain things I can't say.
No, I didn't learn that. That's why I'm in the situation I'm in.
All right, and that's my point. So
I mean, but that's the thing.
So imagine a 20-year-old.
So, I mean, but even though I said things back then, I didn't say it was such discord or as blatant as disrespectful.
It's not the level of this. It's you're taking it as it's so level of disrespect because I'm his father.
Right. I mean, even going like you even said that going back to the white girl within you saying he was disrespectful by doing that. I don't think that's disrespectful.
That is disrespectful when you're at already. That's just like coming into this show. If someone came on this show and said, "I'm only talking to you, Louis. I ain't talking to Jeff."
Especially if I had a problem with that person,
but that's still about my. But you're coming you're coming on our show, so you're coming on our show. So hey, man, he's part of our show. You can't do that to him.
Okay, all right.
That's disrespectful. Now there's levels of disrespect. That's disrespectful.
That's where we disagree at.
You don't think him saying
no.
Putting his hand up, that's disrespectful as adults.
But she was disrespectful to him by saying the shit she said about his son. So it's a clap, and then you can't take the clap back.
That's not dialogue.
Okay, all right.
That's not, he don't know her. Your son knows you.
Right.
And he's saying what.
Well, apparently, obviously, he don't know me to say what he said.
No,
he don't know.
He feels
he doesn't know me.
He doesn't know you the way you know you because he's only 20 years into knowing you.
But I've been there all 20 years, though.
But think about in his mind where his brain is, what he wants, because kids are selfish. That's just a selfish kid wanting everything.
Okay.
That's he wants everything, and then.
You paint it how you want to paint it. I'm taking it how I took it.
Well, you got to give him the pass because he's 20 years old, man.
No,
he's not 20. He's not 30.
You got to.
You don't think he's going to change and mature and understand that what he said wasn't the right thing to say?
Only time will tell.
Right, but you have to believe. That's what I'm saying.
Only time will tell.
But you have to believe. Just like you've learned that he's going to learn, because you've put good stuff in him. Just
apparently not for him to say what he said. I mean, apparently not for him to say what he said.
You just got your feelings hurt. That's
right. Of course, yeah.
But
you would have your feelings hurt if your child said something that to you?
I would. Of course, it would hurt me as a human being and a dad. Yeah, that hurt me. But then I would go back and look at being the mature adult. How did I contribute to and that's his when they say that's his truth. And as wrong as it may be, that's his truth.
Okay.
That just like the things that you feel about your ex-wife, that's your truth. She might feel I wasn't like that to Jeff. I was loving and I was caring but he saw it his way. Right? I mean if you look at it, you look at the way that you feel you treated her and the things you provided for her. That's you got to look at it like.
No, let's not go down that road because it's like that. That's a whole different avenue.
No, but he has
the influence of his mom.
Right. Okay. So he has an influence of a lot of women. That's why I'm saying that what he said to you was what came from women.
So
not men.
So and that's why I don't have the relationship as a parent to another parent with his mom. That's why we never really co-parent, because we never were on the same page.
But that's not his, okay. So that's what I'm saying. That's part of his pain and him. Again, we just said it in the beginning. Certain things we say to our father that we don't say to our mothers. That's the situation you're looking at right now.
Okay.
He probably has things that he would love to say to his mother about how she messed up and how she hurt the relationship. That if you had certain things I know that are not true about Dad that you said.
Well.
And to my grandmother. And like he probably knows in his heart, I shouldn't have never left Fairfax. He knows that in his heart. He's not mature enough to admit that.
Well.
And he's not going to tell her, I'm really pissed that you took me down there and let me take the easy route.
Well, that's something he got to overcome.
I think your son will.
I think he's going to come around.
I think he will come around and realize that's what growing older is about, is getting wisdom. Once he is in a situation or becomes a father himself,
he's going to make you
he'll
proud.
really know the challenges. I mean, because he doesn't understand what you went through with his mom, with becoming a father, with having to take care of him. So he probably fully doesn't understand that. But I think he'll come around at some point.
Especially once he goes through relationships.
I've weighed that all in, and I gave it all.
And how old is he now?
He's 20. He'll be 21.
21. So he's going to totally. That's what I'm saying.
So
he's going to make
you guys
proud
talked
of him.
since the last week when he went off?
No.
He's going to come around. Jeff is going to be proud of him.
He texted me, and his text was even fucked up. His text.
See,
I mean, you sitting there.
His thing is, see, he's probably thinking the same thing.
Maybe this is the kind of he wants attention from you.
Well,
and this is his way of doing it.
This is his text. I apologize if you felt disrespected from our conversation we had the other night. My intentions were not to disrespect you in any way. It just happened to seem like that due to me being frustrated and upset with our relationship.
Okay, hold it right there.
Now, what's wrong with that?
Now, what's wrong with that? That's him saying, that's a mature text.
No. I apologize if you felt disrespected. No, he's still putting the onus on me. No. He's not taking the responsibility. He's saying, well...
No, he is. He's saying he's apologizing.
No.
You're nitpicking. He's apologizing.
No. His text should have been, I apologize for being disrespectful.
No, how you going to tell him? That's what I'm saying. You're trying to control his listen, he realized, first thing he had to realize was that he was wrong. That's the first thing he realized. I was wrong.
No, your first step is... If you felt that way, then come and apologize to me.
Okay, but but that's not okay. This is what I'm saying. You keep trying to dictate what you've been doing his whole life, how he should do it. He first realized, the first thing you want him to realize is that he was wrong. Let's just take it step by step. He realized he was wrong. You need to apologize. First thing he said is, I apologize.
If you felt disrespected,
right, and that makes sense.
Maybe he didn't think you. Maybe or maybe not. You felt disrespected.
Mind you, you're the same one that's been keeping it 100 with him, and fuck you and do what you got to do and say what you got to say.
No.
So his thing was, that makes sense to me.
It don't make sense to me, because if you apologize and then it should have came out and said, I apologize for being disrespectful to you. Not if I felt disrespected.
He said,
not
if you text him back and say...
I didn't text him back.
You ain't even... I mean, you say, hey, look, I thank you for the...
No, fuck that. I'm going to thank him for what? No. If you going to say the shit you say to me, then come to my face.
Why? Because he know you.
But he disrespected you on the phone, so he's apologizing on the phone.
But you going to put hands on...
I'm not going to put hands on him.
You always threaten him.
No. I'm not going to put hands on him.
The first sign is, like Lou said, he felt remorseful about
you're not giving him
situation.
any. But that's what I'm saying.
Would you had rather him not text you at all
and not say anything?
Right.
At this point, I don't give a fuck.
Oh. See, but look at your attitude.
Exactly.
That's the wrong attitude
for you.
For a father.
We're from. Okay, I'm not. That
And you have to
type of
realize,
dad
Jeff,
that
you are 30 years older than this
him.
individual.
Yeah, you keep trying to. I mean, he's 20. You got to teach him. Where's the teaching moment?
You can't teach somebody who don't want to be taught.
He's 21.
But you can't teach somebody who don't want to be taught.
Yes, he
How
can.
you gonna sit there and tell
you're
me?
You're talking about yourself right now. You can't teach somebody who doesn't want to be taught. You don't want to be taught the fact that you don't want to be taught the fact that the first thing he did was he said, "I'm sorry."
No.
You now say you got to say sorry the way I think you should say you're sorry.
No.
And that's not fair.
Life ain't fair.
Man, see, I would look at it as he said, "I apologize." Okay. And let's put that out for the chat room to say. Okay, read it again, and then the chat room can decide if his apology.
Call in 323-293-3375.
No, it's not side with me. See, look at you so defensive. I'm not defensive. I'm saying read it and let them decide if that apology was okay. You're just trying to win.
No, I'm not.
You are. Go ahead.
I apologize if you felt disrespected from our conversation we had the other night. My intentions were not to disrespect you in any way. It just happened to seem like that due to me being frustrated and upset with our relationship.
Right.
Man, Jeff, you need that. I mean, just because he added a preposition in
right.
there.
But he said after he said if, he said
man, that was really Jeff, you are being stubborn.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
You are. Hey, that's
no, I'm not.
You are.
I'm not. Now you telling me how? Now you dictating
and you
me
didn't respond.
And you didn't even respond.
For what?
Because when someone reaches out to say I'm sorry,
we built from two different ways.
Okay, here it is.
Of course, because you guys are born in different generations.
You could have at least responded to the point of, this is what I hear what you're saying, but I really felt that you could have said this. You're not even, again, teaching him that, listen, you could, hey, man, listen, I hear what you're saying.
I did respond. Okay. I called him. And he didn't pick up.
He's not ready to talk. Go back to him. Just text him.
I'm doing all that, man. I'm not you. I'm not doing that. I'm not you.
I'm not saying I would text my son. I'm saying that I would wait till I would see him.
When he texted me that, the first thing I did when I got it, I picked up the phone and I called him. And he didn't pick up.
So how do you know if he wasn't near his phone or anything could be?
He had just texted me.
Well, just like Louis said, he may not be able to talk yet.
Because he knows how upset you. I mean, again, it goes back to trying to have dialogue. It's like, look how you talking to me. Imagine how you gonna go at him.
You keep making excuses and all that.
I'm not making excuses. You gonna go. You definitely gonna go in on him. He knows that. You've done that before. That's your MO.
No, that's not my MO.
Yeah, call
we have a call.
Hey, this is Jeremy from the DMV again.
Yeah.
Again, I think both you guys are right and both you guys are wrong.
Hey, hang up on this, man.
You got to pick a side, motherfucker.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. I mean, I agree with both of you. His son should have called him or actually seen him face to face, had a conversation. But at the same time, Jeff, you got to be the leader and say, let me teach my son the correct way to handle things with a man.
I've tried doing that.
I understand.
I tried doing that.
He's 20, and I remember when I was 20.
Y'all keep putting that, he's 20, and it's like, okay, y'all, his brain, no, fuck all that. I don't give a pass for that.
That's what I'm saying. How can you not give a pass? That's the reality.
Okay.
He's young.
He's still learning.
But they can do, see, the thing about it is like, I was like taught up and raised is like, you want to act grown, you want to be grown till it's time to actually be grown.
Okay.
I understand that, Jeff.
Yeah, go ahead, tell him.
But you still have to teach him. And that's the thing I guess we need to speak
like
to being a parent.
Okay, like I said.
You never stop being a parent.
It's that,
no matter how old your kid is.
Exactly. But you can't teach someone who doesn't want to be taught.
Well, trust me, my brother is just like your son. He talks to my parents crazy.
That's just
showed him off into his own little world. But now he's coming to the realization that I need my family, and he's coming back around. Because my parents treated him kind of the same way you did. They talked to him, he talked crazy to him, then they leave him alone. But at the same, they're always receptive of him when he wants to come around and apologize and make amends. I don't think you need to cut that line of communication off, because then where is it going to go then?
Well,
Right. You already said he's going. I mean, you'd rather him come to you than go to the streets.
Yeah, because the streets
don't care nothing about you.
Play.
Right. But
Right,
that's
they
what
don't
I'm
care nothing
saying.
about it.
So I mean, I'm just saying, you know, my whole thing is that, you know, he's where he's at now. So, and I'm good with
understand
that.
You're
I'm
not good with that.
How you gonna tell me?
Because it's your son and you love him.
How you gonna tell? No,
Girls,
first of all,
girls,
you can't
girls,
speak
y'all
on me right now. Hold on. What the fuck? You gonna tell me?
I'm gonna tell you you're not good because if you
I'm
were good with it,
that.
if you were good with it, you would not have kept his text. You would not have keep reading it, and it wouldn't be so.
That's the
it
first
wouldn't
time I
upset
read
you the
it.
way it's upset
It's
you.
not upsetting me.
Jeff, you should sit down with your son this weekend and just have a conversation.
Man, I'm not.
Just-
If he
just
don't come,
walk.
he knows where I'm
Nah.
at. If he don't come over, it ain't happening.
I understand you, Jeff.
It
You
ain't
know what?
happening.
I think most parents kind of have that. The kid should come to me because I
Right.
remember when me and my
It ain't happening.
dad had a falling out, and he was not gonna call me to make up, even though I felt he was in the wrong. But he probably felt like, well, I'm the dad, and
Exactly.
you should honor me as your parent.
Part of Ten Commandments.
But he also has to realize that you're gonna be receptive to it.
Part of Ten Commandments. Honor thy father and mother.
Yeah, but
Well, he was receptive to my apology. I mean, when I emailed him, I invited him to lunch and to squash it, even though I felt in my heart that he was wrong.
But see, that's the whole thing. Is that okay?
I humbled myself because if anything is to happen to my dad while we're going through this petty bullshit, he said, she said, or being mad at each other, I would never forgive myself.
True.
And if your son is out there in the street and something happens to him where you could have stepped in and said or did something and you don't, you're not going to feel no kind of way about that?
You know what? It is what it is. It is.
Come on,
Yeah, Jeff, come on. Jeff. I mean,
Hey,
it's
y'all can
just-
look at me now.
No,
Y'all
you're just
can
trying
look
to
at
be
me.
so hard. That
I'm not
you
trying
too
to be hard.
Yeah,
I'm not
come
trying to
on,
be
man.
hard. I'm
Come
not
on,
trying
Jeff,
to be
come
hard.
on.
I'm just
if
saying.
something happened to him, that just is what it is. We're not going to accept that because that's not how you feel about your son.
Okay, all right. And now you sitting here telling me about my.
Yes,
feelings
I'm gonna
towards my
tell you
son.
straight up that
No,
if something
no.
happened to you, Julius, you would not say
you
would just show up. And you would be hurt, and it would be bothering you, and you would say, "I can't believe this."
It's like, you know what? Like I always said, like I've told my mom and all that. You know, when he really distanced himself from me for no apparent reason. And when my mom used to say, "Have you talked to him?" No, I've called, I left messages. He hasn't returned. I text him, okay, whatever, all that. Then I just came to the point where it's like, you know what? I've braced myself for the phone call. I've braced myself for the phone call.
But see, he's in that age range where he doesn't know what he's doing.
But you forget too.
It's a different time.
I was in that
Stop
age.
trying. You're not him. He's not you. You're not your father.
Exactly.
You do things differently than your father did it.
Right.
So
Exactly.
you can't expect him to do what you would do.
Okay, and
He's
you're right.
20 years old.
And you're absolutely right. And
I think the 20 to 25 age range is when men really need their fathers, because this is when you start.
Apparently, he doesn't need me.
Well, this is where
It
you
keep
have to
going all
invoke
back
your.
to you. It ain't about you.
Yeah,
And that's
it ain't
what I'm
about
saying.
you.
But then when I say I'm cool with the shit, then you like, oh well, now you fucked up.
It's not
How
a
you gonna
no, but
say
see,
that?
ain't nobody see you. So you and your film like no. All we saying is that you love him enough to care and stop saying that it's not it's about him. It's not about you.
Well, let it be about him then. He can keep it
You
about
gotta be
him.
there, Jeff.
You gotta be
You gotta
there.
Man,
you gotta be there,
yo.
Jeff.
You keep trying to be so hard, and
I'm not.
you are.
I'm who I am.
Hey, look.
I can see if he didn't come out and try. That text was
The
he was sorry.
That's the-
Either
no.
however
Okay.
he
Well,
said
y'all-
it, however he
Okay,
texted.
then y'all do me a favor
He
then.
was apologetic.
Y'all do me a favor then. Y'all accept it then.
See,
Because my brother.
But let
ain't
me
even
ask
done
you,
that.
Lou. What if your son talked to you like that? How would you have handled it?
Where someone talk to him that way? His son has enough respect not to talk to him that way.
I'm sure. Listen, I'm sure we all got challenges from our kids to say certain things. I would just.
I would speak on them or talk back to my mom. I got slapped in the mouth.
I would
period.
understand I would know that he's hurt. That would be.
Yeah.
I would know that it's some pain going on. Now, how you got to that pain between me and your mom, how it worked out, whatever. There's a reason. You might not want to tell me, but I understand that you're in pain, and I'm gonna listen to you. I'm gonna let you get it out. I'm gonna let you get it out. I'm gonna tell you I love you. Hey man, let me know if you need it. I love you. I love you. I love you. because I know you're in pain to go at me like this, because I know it's not true. You know I love you, and I know I love you, and everyone else that knows me and knows us know that you love me. So it's something else going on. It's nothing to do with me.
Okay.
And you just have to mature, and I'm gonna always be here for you.
All right.
You gotta be the rock. You the rock, Jeff.
I'll walk down that path.
You the rock.
And you got to walk down it maybe 10, 12 times.
Yeah, okay.
You're not the only one. There's a lot of fathers who have to keep. That's what I was saying about when I was saying earlier about as the dad, you have to hang in there.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well,
the mom not gonna deal with this.
You hang in there.
She gonna tell you. Hey, Lou, anybody ever told you look like Glenn Thurman?
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Is that your brother or cousin? Or anything?
No, but yeah, they tell me I look like him and F. Gary Gray. You know what, DMV?
F. Gary Gray.
You know, and that's
I can see that. Y'all both got big noses.
Hey, listen, man. Thank you for the call back. And
all right.
Jeff is heated. And listen, here's one thing.
Well, I'm gonna pray for you.
We've all learned how to apologize to Jeff. So don't put if in there. That's one thing we've learned.
Exactly.
Don't put if and then go see him
face
in person.
To face. Exactly.
Don't write if it bothered you. Just say I was wrong.
If I felt. Fuck out of here with that bullshit.
I know they killing him in the chat room.
Well, in fact, I'll read a couple of comments. Let's see. Somebody said, "Where's Iyanla Van Zant when you need her?"
Hilarious.
Somebody said, "OG Sleepy Loke, my son would get stomped out on sight."
Oh, hilarious.
Somebody said, "I bet Lou did timeouts."
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, see?
You did timeouts?
Yeah, no, but I whooped too. Yeah, but yeah, that's hilarious. Yana,
can you count the number of whoopings you gave your kids?
Yes, I asked Lou. I beat him down. I tagged Lou when he was like 16.
But the thing about him, I whipped my son twice when he was little, and I put hands on him when he was 15. That was it.
Yeah, but you were always threatening him.
I wasn't.
Scared. Yeah, you scared. Lou used to say, Jeff hard on his son. He only 9.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, if you want, you see, y'all get confused with
you
hard.
You text your son back and said it's on site.
See, y'all get confused with hard and discipline. That's what people get confused about.
Somebody said Jeff is really mad because his son won't accept his friend request on social media.
See, I ain't on social media, so there you go.
It's on site. That's funny.
Exactly.
That's a funny one.
See, you got to distinguish between hard and discipline.
Ayana,
that was a good one.
Where's Ayana? Yeah, that was
a good one.
That was that.
Somebody said, Jeff, invite your son to Chipotle and split a tofu burrito bowl.
Keep coming with the jokes. I love it.
Oh my gosh, that's
there you go.
All right. That's a good one. That's a good way to end. That is hilarious. Oh my gosh. Listen, I'm sure this is really a lot of people who are out there listening, just getting both sides, because I'm sure, like I said, a lot of people agree, and one thing that we take away from this is the fact that you're a good dad, because you wouldn't care as much. And there's a lot of dads, like I say, who really don't care. And there's so many different ways to parent, being a father. So one way is not the right way. The only way I say is to be present.
Good. There's no wrong way, there's no right.
Yeah, there's no wrong way, but you just definitely have to be present. And the fact that you're present, and he knows, and we all know, if he knocked on your door and said, I needed you, you'd say, come in.
You think?
Yeah, you would.
You think so?
I know you would.
Okay.
I'd bet money.
Okay.
I'd bet money that if he knocked on your door and said, Dad, I need you, you'd say, come in.
How much?
I just know that. I don't have nothing to bet, but if I just know that. I know Julius is the most important person in your life.
Okay.
So I know there's no woman that comes before him or man.
Okay.
You know, but yeah.
And this is your only child, right?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. And I know what you went through to stay in his life. So that's not going to change. So all you dads out there, keep hanging in there.
And don't accept that bullshit from your kids.
Just do the best. Do the best you can. Do the best you can.
Yeah,
And we
okay.
appreciate you guys listening.
You gotta accept that bullshit.
We're going to see y'all next week.